Hi everyone. Happy New Year to you all. It's about 10 days into the new year, but it doesn't matter. Happy New Year because it's the first time I've seen you guys in 2026, and that is pretty amazing. It's our 7th year running for Synth Geekery, so it's awesome to have you guys here, and especially if you've stuck around for that long. Many thanks for your support, and also big thank you to you guys if you're just joining us for the first time. So do stick around, chuck your name in the chat, tell us where you're from. Always nice to hear from new people. Tell us about your synth journey. If it's just starting, if it's a long one, doesn't really matter. It's a synth journey. We're going to talk this week about, I think, something interesting. I think we're going to talk about what you guys, this is you guys that are watching, what do you think the future of synthesizers is? And starting a new year, we can sort of tap into what we kind of feel is a product that's out there maybe already, that's really showing where synthesizer technology is going, where it's heading, and what do you guys think? This is, as you guys know, this is a user / community based synth show. It's not about my opinion, it's about your opinion and everyone else's opinion. So jump in. We've got Zoom ready at the beckoning if you guys want to join us on where's the Zoom? There it is. Get the buttons right. There's the Zoom call link. I'll paste it into the YouTube chat as a link, as a pinned link, so you guys can join us. But Zoom's up and running. Don't forget to join the show. We've got quite a few spots free this week, and I'm going to quickly jump over to here and say good day to the guests, video guests, our regulars, Daren and Andy and Ian. How are you guys?
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone.
Awesome. Nice to have you guys. Also good to see you guys are all fit and healthy and raring for a new year. We'll talk about, I think at some stage during Saturday Sonority, we'll talk about what you guys plan on doing this year, what's new for you, what's in store. I'm sure you guys will probably hit that. So we'll do that. And just don't forget, this week we've got some news. We've got Funny Side, which is the memes. We've also got a Synth Quiz. We've also got a Price Watch. So pretty full show when you think about it. And Ian is going to be running the new segment that he runs, which is on this day. So he's got that prepared as well. So it's going to be a pretty good show. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. We'll stick to the same sort of operation. Let's start with how's your week been? And we're going to go with Daren because Daren's awesome. Daren, how's your week been?
Oh, thanks. Week's been fine. I've we missed last week, didn't we? So that'll be after Christmas. Would it? Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, week's been good. I was at the new Stafford EMOM last night. It's at the Shrewsbury Arms in Stafford. So it's sort of a relaunch because Simon used to have an EMOM at the top of the world, but unfortunately that fell through. It was a massive place. It's probably a bit big for an EMOM in a way. So he's found the new venue, and it was the opening launch night last night, and it was really nice. It's a smaller venue, so I might have to work my rig out because it's quite big getting in there. But yeah, great night. Lots of great people playing. Just a nice, warm, cozy EMOM night, basically. So anyone who's around every month, I'll give you a warning anyway. Next one, February, but every month, Shrewsbury Arms in Stafford. Nice EMOM. If you can get there, get down. What else? Working on Ranzee's remix. It's sort of finished, but I can't. You know what musicians are like. They can't finish anything, so it's finished, but it's not finished in my eyes. Released a track last week, so if no one's had a look at it, go and check it out because it's got no drums in it and no bass line as such. And it was because I got a toy at Christmas, so it's sort of that's how the track came about. So I'm not going to see that. Let's have a look at the camera. So it's my foot pedal fetish now because I just really have a for effects. I just really like it, foot pedals. So I'm gonna have a foot pedal stand just in front of me here, which is just going to be running for the effects. So that's basically what that track is. It's all convolution reverb, this little toy, and like I say, check it out. See what you think of it. It's different. There's not, like I say, no drums. I wouldn't say it's a bass line, but it does go through the whole track. And that's about it, I think. And it's freezing. If you want to have weather forecast, it's freezing. I think that's about all I've done this week.
Awesome. That's awesome. We'll head over to little bit down the road. But Ian, how's your week been, mate?
Hey, Happy New Year. I've said that already. Good day, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. So what have I been up to? I started on somebody's remix. I finally got around to starting on your remix, Ranzee, the Utopia remix. So I would say about halfway through it at the moment. But I have been slightly distracted because we've been trying to finish off the first Look Stranger single, which will be out on the 14th of February, Valentine's Day. It's called Broken. It's about a broken relationship, not mine. So we finished recording vocals this last week. So I've been mixing it and trying to, comp the vocals together, really, is the first thing I've been doing. So I've been working with that. There is a B-side. I'm singing the B-side. That is available now on Bandcamp. It's nice. Called The Last Thing. And what else has happened this week? Oh, yeah. So yesterday, I killed my motorcycle. I'm not going to say what I did. I didn't fall off it. I didn't get anywhere on it, but I killed my motorcycle, which sort of was slightly distressing. And it was picked up by these two gentlemen in a van, and they've taken it to repair it. Also, that's the downside of yesterday. The good side of yesterday is my first grandson was born, Ellis. Oh, so hi, Ellis. When you ever see this, mate. He's absolutely gorgeous, as I would say. But he was. We didn't know that it was all happening. Well, we knew it was going to happen soon, but we didn't quite know when it was all happening. We had a message last night to say that he was born at 12:30 yesterday. Yay! So that was. I mean, it was a bittersweet day to some extent. Although I killed my motorcycle, that really put that whole thing into perspective when Ellis was born. So that's absolutely brilliant, really. You can now buy a Sinners Lego logo fridge magnet from our Bandcamp site. So, and you get a free album with it as well. So that's the self-promotion out of the way. I have bought something. This book's just come out. It's very UK centric. So self-releasing your music by a guy called Matthew Whiteside. The book's normally about £15, but I think it's on special I got it for £12. It turned up a couple of days ago. A guide for composers, sound artists, and performers about self-releasing your music. So far, it's really, really good. And one of the things I didn't know, which I'll probably do a full video on it, that if you use musicians in a musicians union musicians, then you can only record 10 minutes of music in a session that might be 4 hours long, which seems to me completely bonkers. I mean, you need to pay musicians the right amount of money for the session that they're performing on, but I couldn't believe that you're only actually allowed. It's probably a UK thing for 10 minutes of music, which seems a bit daft to me. Because anyway, that's it really, and I'm glad to be back. That's my week.
Fantastic. Hey Andy, how's your week been?
Hey everybody. It's been good. Well, 2 weeks now, but Christmas was pretty uneventful. But we did have some fun. Went to after Christmas, New Year's Eve we spent at the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco, the big fancy one that all the dignitaries and celebrities stay at. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. The lobby and the decorations, it's pretty off the charts. And so I did a live stream of that if you haven't seen it. I have some other footage to shoot as well because there were some signal problems, but I have some stuff to upload later on. Been doing some hardware jams, been doing this and that. Last night it was my friend's George Romero movie channel. If you like that kind of stuff, we did a 4-hour stream of that stuff. It was pretty funny, but one of the guys had been drinking because a lot of people like to drink during those shows, and he did the classic movie thing where he walks off camera to use the restroom, left his mic live. So he's like making all the noises, and then you start hearing the stream going, and then I had glitch on my connection, so I had to reconnect. I think it was a Windows Update problem, so I missed it, but I caught it on the replay. But I jumped back in right after he had finished, and I could see on the replay, one of my friends on the stream heard it immediately. He just starts cracking up, and then everyone else starts catching on to it, and then they finally told him, "Hey, you're on the mic." He goes, "Oh no." That was very funny. What else? NAMM's coming up, so look for the live streams. I'll be doing the normal coverage there. Also, I'll be manning the ARP booth for a little while. I'm volunteering there to help Dina out. So
Cool.
if you're there, stop by the ARP booth and say hi. So good
Fantastic.
stuff.
Good on you, Andy. Hey, I've actually got a video of a live stream somewhere, but I can't find it because there's like 100
Actual stream. Yeah.
There's you guys have probably seen me use it before in the past anyway.
Yeah,
There's like
very
100,
meta.
yeah, 110 something scenes here, and I just can't be bothered trying to sift through 110 scenes. Anyway, we are going to get stuck into the show, and I guess you guys probably want to start with a bit of quizzing. Yes, Synth Quiz has arrived, and it's 2026 edition, and just making sure that we've got the right Synth Quiz up. Quick check of my notes here. Where are we, Synth Quiz? Yeah, I think we can go with that. Good, right. Well, I don't know if you guys have played Synth Quiz before. There's no wow, look how overexposed I am. This is kind of crazy. You can sort of brag if you win it. Now, couple of things, guys. Don't Google it, all right? Just stay away from Google. You guys need to try and use your own synth knowledge. The whole point of this is to see how well you can remember some of the gear that's been around. I'm not going to make it terribly hard. I mean, this device has been around for a while. There's a hint for you. But just don't Google it because you're just not being fair to yourself, really, at the end of the day. All right, so here's the first clue. The first clue is manual splice. So enjoy that one, and we will pop a few other clues in during the rest of the show at some random point in time. And everybody hates it when I do that because sometimes I forget.
Yeah.
Especially during big shows where I could just get completely distracted. What did you guys think of the end of year show, the one where we did the awards, everything like that? I've had a few comments from people on social media. I'll tell you what they are in a sec. Just interested to hear what you guys thought. So we did the best synth, the best drum machine, the best Eurorack module, and the best utility. And we also did the best meme as well.
I thought it was good. I mean, considering that I was travelling for half of it in the car. But I was surprised that my phone managed to stay up, keep a connection for as long as it did, really. But no, I thought the whole thing was really good.
Did you get any feedback from the makers?
I did, and if you guys can guess which one got back to me straight away out of the 4. One got back to me straight away, and 2 of them completely ignored me.
Yeah.
Which is normal.
I'm
not expecting anything. The one that got back to me was IntelliGel straight away, within minutes of the show streaming.
They get mentioned all the time. That makes sense.
Yeah. So IntelliGel, they're a good bunch of guys, and not because of that. It's not like a sucking up job or anything.
They're Canadians. They're nice guys.
Yeah, they're a good bunch of guys. Credit where credit's due, and they make good products as well. So, IntelliGel, they well deserved it too. I mean, that module is insane. So, you never know, it may even appear in this week's show as a future type thing, but we'll see what happens anyway. So the couple of comments I got during the week were kind of along the lines of, especially the Akai MPC Live 3. A lot of people were like, how is that a synth? Why does that get the best synth? There were so many other synths. What about this one?
How's Machina Plus a synth? They all have
What about
synths.
this one?
Yeah, they're all synths.
And I mean, at the end of the day, I just said, look, guys, I didn't vote for it. It was voted by the people in the show, in the chat at the time. So that's just how it works.
Well, that's a question. Well, you could always say that's a question then, because an iPad's a synth. So then you can say, what is a synth?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, then again, you could say, okay, well, the Korg OP6 has got a Raspberry Pi in it, so therefore that's not a synth.
There's a computer.
Yeah. I have 200 music apps on this phone, and a lot of them are direct synths. So
yeah.
There you go. And later
I certainly think that. Sorry,
go
go
on.
Rant.
Yep.
No, I was just going to say, I certainly think that the Akai MPC Live 3 was well deserved. The more I dive into this thing, and I'm playing it most days. I'm not creating music at the moment. I'm learning it. Mm-hmm. But I just think it's a fantastic piece of equipment. I mean, I will use this because I bought a couple of synths that are, I bought the I can't remember which ones I bought now, but they were on special just for the Black Friday thing. So I bought a couple of synths, and I will use them just as synths, doing other things. So I think it's such an amazing. I mean, I took it on holiday. I took it on holiday over Christmas with me, and in those downtimes when we couldn't stand the sight of each other with the family. No, I'm kidding, but I did spend there were times when I didn't have much to do. It is true. No, it isn't. No. So yeah, it's a bit big to be carrying around a lot, and thank God I was in the car. But I just thought it was well deserved, really.
Yeah, awesome. So that was a good kind of. I think. The other thing too is if you guys watch YouTube these days, everything's all shorts and reels and things like that now. The long format, the wide format's kind of a dying technology, and on that is everybody wants everything within 3 minutes. Everyone wants everything just completely shoved down their throat as quickly as they can, and on that. I guess what we kind of do here is we're the long haul. We sit back, grab a coffee, grab a beer, whatever, and just enjoy. And especially when you're reviewing
the vinyl,
whole year.
You have to put it on the disc and then let it play.
That's it, mate. You got to sit back, pull the
and
sleeve
turn it
out,
over halfway through.
Yeah, that's it. Definitely. Yeah, but I mean, look, I had a look at my demographics of my channel every now and then, and I do have a lot of young people that watch this, and they watch it for various reasons, and I really, really am happy that they are watching because put the ageist issue aside, you guys are going to learn a lot from, especially people that have been around with synthesizers as long as some of us here, and that's something that you will get for free just by hanging around. So. Awesome to have you guys anyway. Right, we're going to get stuck into the funny stuff now. I think we should probably have a bit of a laugh, hopefully. Maybe.
Yeah.
We've got one missing. I'm going to fix that. We have got some funny memes, yes. Whereabouts is my meme thing gone? It's that one there. There we go. Anyway, starting, I don't know why this one started on this one, so we're going to have to do this one. Let me fix this up first, and then we'll start again from the start. So who's missing? Ian, you're missing.
Me.
Yeah,
it's been me. Oh, thank you.
Right. Now, let's go to the start. Forget about that one. I'll come back to that one. Let's start at the start. Here's the start. Right. Music production. Music producers, keep going. I wrote 3 albums worth of songs before someone hired me as a full-time waiter.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. It does sound about right. Yeah.
I'm going to try. No, it's not going to go. I need to get up. I'm going to try and move this light out the way so it's not so bright. That's better, isn't it? There we go. Right, what is next? We're going to do this one next. Proud of myself, haven't bought a new synth all year.
Yeah, I wish.
That's almost true.
10 days in. We just saw that one. This one was sent in by Steve Smith. Good on you, Smithy. Roland synthesizers, huge range of quality audio, 30-day easy returns. Good on you. I don't know if you guys are noticing that's not a Roland in the background.
No.
It's like, oh, duh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, good on you, MSN.
Classic Big Moog, isn't it, really?
Yeah. This one, so it turns out you can actually get an extra oscillator by setting the filter resonance enough to self-isolate and then modulating the cutoff with the key tracking. And then if you feed it with white noise, it can sound really... Sir, this is a Wendy's. Like that one.
The whole world doesn't want to hear about it? Come on.
Yeah, I like it. And then I finally saved up enough money for me to pop into Perfect Circuit and buy their cheapest product. Sorry, I just added that a little bit at the end.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we are going to launch the poll into the chat. Here we go. Start. Let me see if the poll's working. Hooray! It works. Look at that.
It does.
There you go. There's the poll. The poll started. You guys know how to do it. ! Vote, no spaces, and then a space. And then the number that corresponds to your favorite meme that you just saw. 0 is the music producer. 1 is no purchases yet. 2 is MSN. 3 is Wendy's. And 4 is savings. So there we go. Let's get some votes in and we'll have a bit of a little chat. Guys, what did you think of the memes this week? Were they New Yearish? New Yearish. I mean, what are the things we talk about New Year's? We talk about buying new gear. We talk about what albums we're going to make, producing, right? I don't know about going to Wendy's. We don't have a Wendy's here.
We do have Wendy's here either. I mean, I take you. Wendy's is like a cafe, isn't it? A restaurant.
We do have Starbucks.
It's a restaurant, isn't it?
It's McDonald's basically with square burgers.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So
we certainly don't have Wendy's as a brand in the UK. I don't think.
I have a hilarious story with my grandmother on my mom's side. She basically took us once on the way to see my other grandparents, and she didn't know how to order things. She was old school and kind of out of it and stuff. We drove through a Wendy's drive-through. First time we ever went there, little kids, and she just ordered. She was, give me everything on a burger for. She just gives a price instead of just ordering the stuff, right? And we all got the food, and first it's weird to have square burgers, and then it's like it was ice cold. I go, did that price include heating? This is like these are cold burgers. So my first Wendy's burger, although it wasn't great anyway, was a damn cold burger. So
as you think about it, like a square burger, right? So in the old days, you'd get your loaf of bread out, that you make your morning toast with. If you wanted to make a homemade burger, it would be square or rectangular because you're using, the square or rectangular bread from your loaf. And a burger really isn't much indifferent to that. It's bread and some stuff in the middle, right? Usually meat and salad, right? So that's a burger. But yeah, homemade. We used to do homemade steak sandwiches and things like that with just normal everyday loaf of bread sitting in the kitchen. So
when you think about it, they stamp them, right? So you're stamping round ones, you're going to have leftovers, right? So the square one makes more sense. Edge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I used to be a chef in a completely different lifestyle, and so what you do is you just all the bits that are left, you just make them into another burger, so you don't have any waste.
You do. All right, poll wise, I think we should stop it because we've got plenty of votes and we have a clear winner. Anyway, and let's head on over to the poll land. Poll's closed. You can no longer vote. The winner is the music producer won with 7 votes. That's a pretty decent amount of votes, that one.
Ooh.
Everyone is a cynic these days. Let me see if I can find that meme for you again. Everyone is a cynic, eh? Music producer is this one. There's your winner. There's your chicken dinner.
That's not the one I picked.
It's not. He's going to be salty all night now.
That's it. I'm upset now.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Awesome. All right. Well, we have a tiny bit of news. It's look, guys, don't be disappointed. It's not me that makes the news. It's the products that come out. But I actually feel the amount of things that we are showing on the news are very, very definitely worthwhile talking about. So let's go. Let's talk about them. And what I'll do is, if there's something that you feel that I haven't added in the news because it's so slim on the pickings today, do please let me know, and maybe we've got time at the end of this to chuck it in. But let's start with this, the GLT Audio PM-80. Now, this little baby is actually really interesting. This is another one of these controllers. We showed something similar a few weeks ago, but this is a different company, GLT Audio, and this one is a controller for CS80 based VST synthesizers, so you can kind of get that real sort of finite controls over your your CS80 synths. So yeah, what can I tell you? It's dedicated hardware MIDI controller, design and sort of hands-on for your CS80 software synths and other VSTs. You can use it for other stuff as well if you want. It's basically marketed as the poor man's CS80. And, features 75 nice, high-quality, silk smooth 30mm faders. And it's got... they're actually, if you're wondering about faders, and I know some of you guys are mechanical or electrical engineers, you'd like to know this sort of stuff. These are Alpine faders. So if you know anything about faders, they're actually pretty decent. There's a 30cm ribbon controller down the bottom. I don't know if you guys spied that, thinking, what's that? It's not a holder for your pencil. That's actually a ribbon controller. And there's a range of additional controls with waveform toggle switches and a sustain latch toggle. The device is built in a slim metal enclosure with a screen printed faceplate. Now, you can get stuff on the back connected to it. There's USB-C MIDI. There's also 3.5mm TRS MIDI out. CV gate outputs assigned to the ribbon controller. So you can use that for your modular as well, which I thought was quite nice. Now, let me see if I can find some more information about the price on this, because I know you guys like the price.
Yep.
Price, we are looking at probably around about €4.99. It's going to be available, and that doesn't include VAT if you're living in one of those places.
Right, okay.
You are looking at
500
shipping around about mid-year, July is when they're saying that you can get one of these. They are built in the Netherlands. Hello to all the Dutch people watching the show. Awesome to have you. Go the orange shirts. Good on you. Yeah, half of the Liverpool team, by the way. Yes. Anyway, so that's the GLT Audio PM-80. What do you guys think of these things? Like we showed that other one a couple of weeks ago.
I like the built-in ribbon. Decker's Dream should have had that.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Yeah, and also how it's CV controlled. Hey, Andy.
Yeah.
I just think, do we really need it?
Someone does.
Somewhere,
if you're really into that, it would be nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not for me. I mean, I've got the Arturia CS80 clone, which I quite like, but I don't. And having played one once at Synthfest, I didn't get to play Kent's actually when I was last there. I need to go up to his studio and play with Kent's for half an hour. I love the CS80, but I wouldn't need this really. I don't think it's not for me, But I mean, the price isn't bad. I suppose if it's 500 quid including VAT ish,
It's not bad. A lot of it.
After Smart, they'll make overlays for it. You can buy to use with other stuff. So.
Possibly, yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
One negative though, guys, on this. Do you remember the other product we showed a couple of weeks ago? Just so you guys remember, that was the Soundforce, the SFC4 Mini Mark. I think it was the Mark IV. That was the the software synth for the Moog Mini Moog type synths controller. And the thing that was really good about that, it was bidirectional. So this unfortunately doesn't have the bidirectional sort of gear in it. This is just traditional MIDI CC setup, this one. So unfortunately that's a little downside on it, and it would have been nice if maybe they would have implemented that. I'm not sure why they didn't. There might have been, maybe there's a future update with the firmware. I'm not sure. Not sure what's really going on there, but it is nice to have a controller that helps you with your programming of your CS80 software synth. Probably my guess is that this is more a sound design tool, so you're probably not going to sit there and play it performance wise, whereas that other one was more like a mini Moog, really just like a mini Moog, that thing. So that was more of a performance and tweaking tool, whereas I feel this is more of a sound design tool to get you there. And one of the things that they say is that it's good to get sweet spots with the sliders on these sort of things. So you may not. So I find, do you guys ever get frustrated using a mouse? Sometimes you don't quite get that little that little potential with virtual potential on where you want it.
And it's when you've got a soft synth that's on an iPad, I find it even more frustrating as well. Trying to get I mean, not all of them.
Mouse wheel though gives you some control. If it's mouse wheel controllable, then that helps a little bit. It's a little delicate.
Indeed, yeah.
But I mean, I have Kent's Imposker 2 controller, which is massive, just for Imposker 2. It does work with other MIDI stuff, but it was
Yeah.
designed for that, and it's amazingly fun. So I've bought stuff that's dedicated before. It's pretty cool. So
Nice. Okay, we'll move on to the next thing. Now, before I just change the graphic, I'm just going to see if this works.
Is this to introduce the next item?
Ready to get the next product. Gotta turn that up.
the anticipation.
No.
Yes, here we go. We have got another emulated software synth come out, and this is I don't know if you guys remember. We've done the Access Virus emulation. We've done a couple of others, and these guys that are doing these things, it's pretty. The Usual Suspects is what they're called. They're an open source project, and they've finally done the super saw synth that everyone knows is the obviously the JP-8000 or the JP-8080 from Roland. And these guys, what they've done is they've done an emulation of the actual synthesizer itself, and you load your actual hardware firmware that you've got. So you should be an owner of a JP-8000 or a JP-8080. You should have that firmware sitting somewhere, and then you chuck it into your VST folder where it tells you to chuck it. And now you've got it running as a VST or an AU, something like that, on your computer. And you've got a super saw synth with really traditionally all those amazing sounds. Now this is not a VST that you can buy. This is open source software. You guys can freely download this right now. If you don't have a Roland JP-8000 or JP-8080, technically you can't use this, technically, right? Under the licensing, you can't use it. There is probably ways you could find one of those firmwares somewhere. I'm not going to support any of that on the show, but if you were desperate and there was a way that you could borrow it off a mate or something like that, as long as you return it, that could be one way of looking at it, I guess. I've got this actually plumbed into, as you guys heard before, on the Mac. There she is here. So it's.
Do they give you the tool to extract the firmware, or do you have to figure that out?
There's actually websites that you can go to, Andy, that will help you figure that sort of stuff
No, I just wonder if they specifically try to point people in that direction with a link or something like that, because that would help people being honest, right? So. I love my JP-8000. It's great.
So these are all the factory presets and performance things, you know.
I remember that one. I've used that several times.
Yeah.
There you go. So, and we're not going to go through this thing. It's pretty good. You know, it's using 2% of my it's an old Mac Mini M1, by the way, if you're wondering. It's really not even pushing it at all. And if you think about it, guys, this stuff ran on 1990s, late 80s hardware in the day, didn't it? So really, it's it's no surprise that these things run on a smell of an oily rag, really. But anyway,
it's known for super saw, but also has a cool thing called a feedback oscillator on it, which is quite fun to use.
It does, yeah. The feedback oscillator, and also a lot of people actually like the retro sound of the digital sort of crunchy filters and things that it had in these things now, because they're getting on a bit, these things. Anyway, if you guys don't know anything about it, they've reverse engineered the Roland chips, which are actually Fujitsu and Toshiba DSP chips that they used in the day. And there's a guy called Guilioz who provided sort of information on how that sort of stuff is done. So I guess probably one of the things that you guys may sort of think about is, I've got an Arturia JP, whatever the Arturia one is. Why do I need this? The answer is you probably don't, if you've got that. So the answer is this is more for I guess people who kind of go, hey, they were a digital synth, why can't I just run that on a computer? The answer is, if you've got the right emulation platform and the right sort of mapping to controls, as you can see, all that user interface and everything has to be all programmed and mapped and everything. So,
and you got rolling cloud if you have, if you want to have just a rolling version.
Well, yeah.
So.
But I've got the Access Virus one, and I've got the JP-8000. So for me, it's all fine. And but for you guys, that might be a free way to actually get a more realistic, super saw sound into your software. Completely free. The usual suspects is the website. You guys have a chat about this.
I just think it's great. It's a really,
it's something I always wanted.
Yeah.
And
is there a donation thing?
Stuff is perfect. So
is there a donation thing on the website? Yeah,
there is a PayPal.
It's worth. Yep. Yeah, it's worth donating. If you need this, and you've got JP-8000, then happy days, really.
Yeah. The other thing too is, like, one thing Roland do is they make a synth and then they digitize that synth later on and put it as part of their whatever synth engine that is the latest and greatest. At the moment it's called the Sonority, but before it was called the Supernatural engine. Before that it was called something else. All the way back to the days when the D50 came out with the linear LA synthesis, linear algorithm synthesis. Yeah. So basically what Roland do, so you can get these JP-8000, 8080 sounds in some of the newer Roland synths because they've PCM'd them. You can get them, but what this is more of a VA, isn't it, Andy? It's the old JP-8000 was more a virtual analog synth.
Yeah, yeah, it's a VA, but it's everyone goes, oh, super saw, but it actually does so much more than that. It's really a fun synth, and it has a little mini ribbon, so you can get crazy with that. It has a really nice joystick with the deep modulation control on it. That's not just that little wiggle on the most Roland sticks, have that tiny little modulation wiggle.
Yep.
So it's a really fun synth, and it has. If you look at the bottom, you can see the effect controls. It's one of the few things, at least back then, that had direct controls to your delay effects, chorusing, stuff like that, with knobs. No digging through menus, no all that kind of stuff. It's a great performance synth.
Yeah, it was very direct, wasn't it? Got you there. Kind of similar sort of world to the SH-101. Like you basically see it on the screen. You see it on the panel, and you're there. You get to exactly where.
And plenty of layered patches too. They're really good layered patches. There's a lot of stuff going on with splits and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, look, there's a few people who kind of have opinions about this sort of stuff. The emulation of gear and the whether they've got permission for it and things like that. But the way I see it is, your hardware is not going to last forever. A lot of those chips that I mentioned before, the Toshibas and the Fujitsus and stuff like that, when they die, unless you can find a working version of one of those, they're pretty much chuck it in the bin type situation. Analog synths of vintage days probably have a little bit more saving grace where the components can be, in a lot of cases the components can be replaced. But the digital stuff, once those chips die, unless you can get a part from Roland or you can find another one online, you're pretty much throwing these away. And there's some really good examples that Kent Spong has talked about on the pub show before, where he's had
scarcity of parts,
digital synths, and you just can't get the part anymore, and you just chuck it in the bin. It's completely useless. You've got basically a hunk of metal and plastic sitting there doing nothing. Now, for me, that kind of solves a problem. So say like me, you've got a JP-8000 and it's a bit poorly, right? The firmware on it is completely fine. It's just a piece of binary data that sits on there. You can extract it, chuck it onto a USB, and then load that into here, and you can keep using your JP-8000 in your computer, and it just keeps keeps it alive in a way. For me, it's kind of similar to Daren and I talk about this, where you've got legacy computers that you can't run like I've got a Korg M3 and I can't run the Korg M3 software on my latest computer because it just won't run. But I've got I've got a Windows XP virtual machine that has the Korg M3 software running on it, and it works completely fine, no problem at all. So these are the examples.
That is the ultimate saving grace of all these tools. Is in the future when everything's dead. As much as I love hardware, you can emulate everything, right?
Yep.
So emulate software upon software upon software, and it'll just be around forever. It's great.
Yeah.
Well, a classic example here is a microstation, which I quite like using because it's a 64 note, but small keys. The software won't run on anything that I've got anymore, and it's not that old, you know.
Yeah. Even the case, Ian, with some iPad things that iPhone, iPad software that is no longer on the App Store, and they've removed them.
Oh, that's a big problem.
Yeah. So that'll be. There's people addressing that now, Andy. That's something that you should get involved in, mate, because I know you're big on that stuff. There's people who are actually looking at. They're talking with Apple. They're saying, "Hey, Apple, I know you guys are interested in just making money, but there are so many people who fly the vintage Apple flag." And actually, Wozniak is actually one of the guys that would probably be behind it too, to be honest, because he's always been pretty pro on the vintage stuff. He still talks about his first Apple that he made.
Wanting it to be open network, wasn't it? That's what he wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, because without them cooperating, all you can do is jailbreak, and that makes the device unstable. So
yeah. So that sort of stuff, I'd like to see more dev, and and Roland. They shouldn't be unhappy with people doing this stuff. And this is when did the JP-8000 come out? I keep forgetting. Was it late 80s or early 2000s? Early 90s. I always forget.
I think it was right at the end of the 90s, I think.
96. There you go.
Yeah.
Cool. So that was around the time that Daren and I were getting XPs and Yamahas and things like that. It was kind of late 90s, early 2000s.
AM1X, I think that's around that time. So
I do remember these things, and some of these things don't get to Australia. That's part of the problem I had. But I eventually got one, and I was never like I don't know. I was never, because when I got mine ages later, like 2015 or something when I got mine. It was way past its wow factor date, if that makes any sense. Like there were so many more synths in 2015 that would kill the ability of this the JP-8000. But the one thing that I liked about it was that you'd go through some of the factory patches and you go, oh my god, that's on that track, oh that artist used that, oh my, it was kind of just that trip through memory lane. And that was one of the cool things I liked about it. So when you guys, if you manage to get yourself this from the usual suspects and install the firmware and you go through the factory patches, I should say, that's one of the first things that you'll do. It's a little trip down memory lane. And even some of the patches you'll recognize in more modern Roland synths, and you'll go, that's where they got that from.
In fact, as much as I like this, when I was aware of it, the thing that pushed me over the cliff was the Jexus video. Jexus made me buy so many of these things.
Oh, right.
His video on this is really good. So, yeah.
He's what made me buy the Korg Radius, that guy.
Yeah.
And I ended up selling it because I was never worthy compared to him, right? I never got my Radius to sound like he got his.
And he's still releasing videos and patches and all the time, so it's crazy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Absolutely. Yeah. Right, well, that is it, news-wise. Now, I mean, I could have gone into Eurorack and put out a few modules and things like that. I don't know, I kind of felt like I didn't really... I'll be honest with you guys, I was probably a little bit lazy this week. But I felt like these two things were the bigger... And what we've got to realise is NAMM is around the corner. And a lot of the news stuff is going to pop out in that week of NAMM. It's going to pop out either just before NAMM starts or it's going to pop out during NAMM. And I don't know, in previous years, we've kind of seen a slight tapering off of synth-related products being released at NAMM. And You know,
Or
some
before
companies.
they do it before sometimes.
Yeah, they usually do it before, or they just don't do it at NAMM. They'll do it at Super Booth, or they just do it whenever they want. They'll just ignore both. So, yeah, well, I think that's probably why. But look, guys, in the chat, highlight my name if you guys want me to bring something up that you think's new that we haven't shown in the last couple of weeks on the show. We've got a little bit of time ahead. But what I thought I'd do, why not, I'll just get Daren, you can keep an eye on chat for me, mate, see if anyone brings anything up. What I thought we'd do while we're waiting is so during New Year's, we always tend to have like a massive clean out in our house here. And we go through cupboards and boxes, and you guys have been through that, you know, where you just look through stuff, papers and stuff, and you think, do I need to hold on to this paper from friggin' 1982? And you just, you know, you go through shit. One of the things I found was this little sort of brochure thing that I got. I think it's late 90s. I think it might be early 2000. Anyway, I'm going to share it with you guys. I may have even shown it on the show before. Let me know if you've seen me show this on the show before. So this is merging, really bad use of technology. Really bad one here.
Yeah.
So this is an Australian.
It's like the impact font.
This is an Australian publication. I'll just see if I can zoom out a bit. Sorry about the mess in the background, guys. More Music is an Australian company. I don't know if they're around anymore. Someone can check if you want. And this whole, you know, this was all about a bit of an insight into the world of music making back then. And I thought this is actually really interesting. Windows wants me to tell me that Windows 10 has ended. And it's just like literally just covered up my entire screen just then. Thanks, Microsoft. Piss off. Right. Anyway, getting back to this. So this is talking about hard disk recording, PCs, and like it's a new thing, right? And it's interesting when you start reading through this. So this is a DJ-based company, right? But there's some interesting things that come out of this. So those, you know, even though we might be synth guys, you know, some of us have come from DJ worlds, so this is all kind of the DJ gear that was around at the time. Interesting, some of the brands don't even exist now, some of these brands, so that was kind of interesting.
Vestax is still around.
But then you get to this page where it's a bit of software and it's a bit of hardware, and some of it's laughable. Like it's really, really interesting stuff.
I see.
There's the DJS24, the Pro sampler. See if I can zoom in on that for you guys. You're going to laugh at this. This is hilarious, this thing, right? The Pro sampler, the DJS24. Look at this, 24-bit digital unit capable of sampling frequencies from 44.1 kilohertz CD quality, guys, featuring non-destructive editing and the ability to record up to 32 samples. Right? How about, look at the software over here, SoundForge 4.5.
I can't remember them, yeah.
Right? CD Architect. You guys remember burning CDs with CD Architect?
I did. I still used. I used that up until we moved. I used to have an old. Yeah. CD Architect was really good, actually. Mac. Yeah, it was really good.
There's the Sonic Foundry. These are the sound.
Acid was fun, and then Sony bought it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. And then you've got. I'll just do. Is it this one I want to do? Oh, that was the Montego 2, the home studios. Look at the type of PCs you had: CRT monitors, and they had the old ISA cards, or the I don't know if it's PC. I think it's an ISA card. I don't know. It's something like that. But back in the day when it was all the Voyetra card.
Digital Orchestra rings a bell.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever owned it, but I've used that, I think.
And then we got Teratech Pro Media over here. I don't think I've seen some of this stuff ever. And over here we've got the Music Cater notation software. I remember that one. $549. It gives you a MIDI sequencing music notations on your hard disk. And then you have the MIDI composer. Look at this keyboard, guys.
Yeah.
Only $349. This is Australian dollars, by the way, if you're wondering. Just in case people were kind of... Then I saw a familiar company, Motu. This is some of their earlier stuff that they made. Some of you guys have probably still got some of this gear lying around.
Yeah.
Like the Micro Express, that was quite common. $895 for a MIDI sort of Express XT thing. I mean, they were pretty groundbreaking in the day because they gave you through USB. I think this was through USB. It doesn't actually say in here, but they gave you sort of 4 in and 6 out MIDI ports, and then you had the bigger one, which gave you 8. $1,195. You could probably pick something like that up for next to nothing.
Yeah.
That's Performer. Wendy Carlos used to use Performer. Hey, that's the VT1. I have one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly used the Moto hard disk recorder there. Not in a studio that I used to use back in the day. So I have used that.
Yeah. The VT1, the
I had
voice
this entire
transformer.
page. The Dr. Groove, the
202.
the 202. My SP202 got stolen, but I still have the 202, the DR202.
Wow, yeah.
Charlie Lab Megabeat 1. I've never ever heard of that. Has anyone got a Megabeat 1?
No,
Bottom there?
don't know that.
That's probably a good reason for it. No, it's hurt
I do remember those Roland monitors, those tiny monitors. They were actually really, they were quite well built.
And then we came into, this is the bit that really got me interested. So you guys remember there was a period where we had creative, Sound Blaster cards, all that sort of stuff in our PCs. Do you guys remember that world? And then we had the MU404 from Roland, the MIDI card. There were all these cards that these sort of cards that you had in your computer, and they were your interface between analog audio into digital audio. So it's interesting. There's software like the Samplitude 2496. So that was kind of like a sampling software that you could get. I don't think I've ever used it, but I have heard of it. And then you had these...
I had Sample Tank, but not Samplitude.
Look at these, these were groundbreaking in the day, but now like you'll take this stuff for granted. But this was a digital to audio 24-bit converter. So, that was sort of really early, digital to audio. Look at the price, $10,000 for that. And then over here you had some interesting Vestax accessories for your DJ stuff, cables, microphones, beat counter. If you're not good at maths, you need one of those. And then just some more software.
I had Retro AS1 and Unity on the right there. They're a Scotts Valley company near Santa Cruz. And I bought them at a Macworld, and the company folded before I had a chance to register it. So I had to get a cracked version to even use it because you couldn't register anymore. It was a challenge response.
Now, this is the page that really got me laughing my head off. Play and write MP3s from Microboards technology is the first CD recordable system that gives your PC the ability to create customized audio CDs from the internet. You too can sit down and wait 10 hours for that MP3 file to come down through dial-up.
Yeah.
The things we used to do. It was really, I just thought it was really quite funny. It was about to go in the skip bin out the front, the old merging technologies. But yeah, go. Bit of a trip down memory lane, that was. Absolutely.
What year was that on the catalog there?
It doesn't actually say the year on here.
Doesn't say.
But I'm guessing 90s, right?
I would say the early 90s.
Sure. Yeah.
I'd say sort of maybe 95, 96, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be my guess. It does seem a bit yesterday, doesn't it, Bert? I feel like when you actually do think about it, there was a bit of a gap, though, between when you remember that stuff and now. There's a bit of a gap.
Yeah.
Well, that could
remember
be true,
going
Wags.
to,
MP3 was when? 2000, wasn't it? MP3s were 2000 or 90, late 90s?
I remember going to Macworld and the Logic Pro There was one year it was a German company, and the next year it was an Apple company.
Late 80s for MP3 format, and then standard finalized in 92, and extended in 95.
There you go. Anyway, the whole
It wasn't widely
Napster was
adopted for a while. Though. It took a while.
Yeah, Napster was 1999.
well, yeah, it was probably late 90s. That would probably be more accurate.
Napster was still working as of a couple of years ago. It was kind of weird.
Well, that
Napster was bought,
not the
though,
original
wasn't it?
guys though. It wasn't the original
No,
guys.
it was.
No, they were
it
sold.
it was sold and turned into a legitimate company.
What was that guy's name?
exactly,
I forget.
yeah.
I watched some documentary.
Sean
on it.
Parker.
Sean Parker.
Sean
That's
Parker.
right.
He
That's
had something to do with Facebook, didn't he? As well, early Facebook.
It was all guys meeting and hanging out, and
Yeah.
interacting and stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, what should we do next? I think we should do a synth quiz clue.
Okay,
Are you guys ready?
got my pen.
Mm-hmm.
MD280.
Wow,
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
that should make it easy. Or totally
Yeah, so
difficult.
don't Google it, right? Don't Google it because I'll know that you've Googled it. I will know. There's your second synth quiz clue. I should have done one on the third, I think. But anyway, I love to live dangerously. Now, what I'm going to do next is I am going to run the Price Watch segment. We haven't had one of these for a while. And hopefully it starts at the right one this time. Oh, geez, we've got nothing there. Let's dearie me. Where is my little folder? Ooh, I don't even know where it gets it from now. Dum da dum da dum. Give me a second. Ah, there
It's
it
a
is.
new year, but it's the same glitch.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go. And then we got to fix whoever that's missing there. Is that
It's been me again.
Ian, what do you keep missing for?
I'm sorry. There we go. Hey, there we are.
There we go. All right. So this one I think was interesting. This was a Korg microkorg that came up, and I probably need to get this up on the thingamy, on the browser. Let me just get my docs going. It's basically what it is. It's a microkorg that's been modified. And it's like a blue sort of modification to it. And when I show you this in a sec, you guys will go, "Ooh, this is kind of interesting." You wouldn't probably want to pay. I don't know if that's Australian or US dollars. I'll find out in a sec. Actually,
Free shipping though.
it is free shipping. I think it might be Australian dollars. So anyway, here is the. Oh, what happened to the photo? What? Oh, they're showing a stock photo. Come on, where's the photo of the blue one? Oh no, the blue one, where's it gone? I'm going to have to skip that and come back to it. I've lost my photo.
Cool.
Hang on, let's go to the next one. The next one is blue again. This is the Roland SH01A. They're rare now, Andy. They're rare.
Yeah, they were always rare. The rarest color. The red were more common in the boutiques.
I just found it a bit funny that, $395 US. There you go. That is US. While are you guys having a chat about that, I'll see if I can dig up that photo of the previous one.
You remember the snafu I told you about with the boutiques, right? I discovered it at Guitar Center. I kept wanting to get the red one because I have a lot of gray stuff and a lot of blue stuff and all that.
Yeah.
And I got it. It finally showed up. The sleeve said red. Pull the sleeve off, open the box. It's gray. Got another one, returned it like 3 times. And every time it said red on the sleeve, it was a gray one inside. So Roland screwed up at the factory somewhere.
Yeah, actually, Korg. I know
If
Korg
you got a red, it
did
was
that
by
as well.
accident.
Yeah, I ordered a.
I saw them used.
Korg
I didn't want a used one.
Yeah, I ordered a Korg Cross 2 which was supposed to be they did a marbled limited edition version, and that's what I ordered, was the marble one, and the box said it was marbled, and it wasn't. It was just a grey one. But actually, in hindsight, I mean, I kept it. I didn't. It's not great. It's sort of grey black.
There's the blue microcorg. Sorry, I
what was that?
Yeah, it's just,
I'll just
faceplate.
Some of those.
Speaking of marble.
Yeah, you can't beat a bit of marble.
Yeah, so someone's either done one of
Real
those
Corinthian marble.
one of those laminated, print on laminate, and you just stick it on like a sticker.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
I mean, it looks all right, but why would you do that?
Okay, what else we got next? We've got this, which is the Sequential Circuits Pro 1, 2300. I don't know. Is that good or bad, or what do you guys think?
Wow, they've gone up. Yeah, it's.
I thought that was a bit pricey.
Yeah.
It is.
I was looking at them when Brooksy was getting his repaired, and they were much cheaper than this.
I can remember seeing them for about $800 US.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that long ago. So I don't know whether this is a. Maybe it is.
Telling me straight.
I think it might be. I can't see anyone else selling one on eBay, but there could be on Reverb. I don't know. I haven't got the access to Reverb right now to look. So anyway, there is that one. And the last one is this. The Mini Korg K2. Now this
K2.
This is for
it's Univox. It's originally Univox one, isn't it?
Yeah.
K2. I don't remember it being a K2, but
that font is great.
That's the S, the Microkorg S.
That's the Microkorg S, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's have a look at this on eBay. I've got it on eBay. Here we go.
Price is okay, actually. That's not a sort of $1,000 is probably about right.
There you go. There's the K2. See that?
Yeah.
Univox Korg K2 on the sticker right there. These were the organ toppers of the day.
Absolutely. It's great synth.
I don't know if it's me, but that keyboard, either it's a bad photo, but that keyboard looks, I think it might be the photo.
What? Slightly
warped a
It
little
looks
bit?
like it's warped.
Warped.
Doesn't it? As I go across.
Actually, it may well be warped, because when I had my just straightforward 700, and I've owned two of them, occasionally you get something like that happening.
It looks warped there too.
It's
see?
a waterfall design. So.
Well, yeah. Let's look at this other photo here, because it definitely shows it here. See? You can see it's definitely warped there.
I think it's in pretty good condition for what it, maybe he's had it serviced.
Does it come with the table? The table's amazing.
Tables. What it should come with is the music stand, which they never do, and actually the instruction manual. I still have my original instruction manual.
This guy never did photography, did he? So you're not really supposed to photograph the primary subject on a distracting background.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mind you, it does make the photos interesting. Yeah, there's a bit of a close-up now of that.
Yeah. Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
rusty screw.
Rusty screws, but that's easy fixed. It
is actually. Yeah.
Usually just self-tappers, standard things. You can get them from anyway from your hardware store. Those sort of things are easy fixed. But definitely something gone weird with the keyboard there.
Yeah. I struggled to get, because the main volume knob was missing on mine, and I couldn't get a replacement. Korg couldn't help me either at the time.
That's no good.
No.
Now, is that
but
all
I've got the...
I can't remember if that's all I've got or not. It is indeed. I had four.
I do think the price is okay. Really. So about 800 UK. You'll see him for more than that, but that's okay.
1,000 US, which is about $1,600, $1,700 Australian.
Yeah, and that's the case for it, isn't it? Because the Univox case, it's at the back.
Yeah, it says it's got a case. It's the 1975 original 700S.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But the thing, I guess the thing about this one, now I don't know. Someone could have done a dodgy and put a sticker on there and it says Vox K2. I don't know, but maybe they didn't. Maybe it's completely rigid edge. I don't know, but yeah, there is a video on that listing. By the way, I'll share that listing with you guys now. If you are sort of chaffing at the bit right now and you want to actually buy this, because I reckon it will go.
It will.
Pretty decent price. Will. There is the link.
Shipping's not cheap though. $250 $241. It's a bit pricey.
Yeah, it just depends.
I mean, you
on how if you're going to buy this and it's going to ship overseas.
I'm sorry, I'm just seeing it's international shipping. So
yeah. So Andy would be able to get it cheaper shipping wise.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, he's still a fair way from San Antonio. Let me tell you.
I would hate to ship this abroad.
I mean, how heavy are these?
That?
Are they that heavy?
They're heavy. It's heavy.
Yeah, they're heavy. They're probably, what do you reckon, about 15, 20 kg?
20 kilos max with the case probably, because the case if the case is wood, can't tell whether it is, but I mean, put it this way, my replacement, I've got the newer one, the FS now, the full, and that is heavy. It's just as heavy. And it's going to be 20 kilos. So
cool.
Not cheap to ship, but I wouldn't ship that out of the country. I mean, when I sold my 700, the guy came to pick it up. I didn't really want to trust it with, no matter how much you pack them, they're going to drop it. Really. And even
that's why the stuff I bought from Japan was packed so well, you could throw it around. It was fine.
All right.
They do. Have you seen luggage handlers on airplanes?
Oh,
they do.
Well, my EX5 story, they got just demolished by UPS ground. The guy paid to have the store package it and ship it, which was a big mistake.
Yeah.
And ended up being took me like 6 months to get my money back. And then I found one in Japan that was packaged like immaculately. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So,
well, what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to Ian World and we're going to do
soundtrack.
On this day. So, here we are on this day. What happened on this day? We're starting on 1755 or 1757. They don't quite know. But this day, the first Secretary of the U.S. Treasury, some bloke called Alexander Hamilton, was born in the British West Indies. Now, there's a whole musical about this guy, which I haven't seen it. I've only heard some of the songs, but I think Hamilton's worth a look, isn't it? Anybody seen it?
I haven't.
Have not.
No, it's on. I think it's on Disney, so I will get around to watching it at some point. But
I don't like the musicals that much. I did like Little Shop of Horrors, but
Little Shop of Horrors is just amazing. I know that's a sidebar, but it's absolutely brilliant. So then we jumped. Sorry, say again, Darren.
It's going around the UK the show, isn't it?
Is it Hamilton?
Yeah,
I mean, I've listened to the album. The album's I mean, if you like musicals, it's great. Some of the songs are good, but I don't know. Because I think my kids went to see it in the West End a while back. Then we jumped to 1909. Today was the day that the jazz drummer Gene Krupa was born in Chicago. Yeah, great drummer. I mean, I know it, but actually, he was a bit of a bad lag at times because he did serve a 3-month jail sentence for marijuana possession. And after it got released, he was
which is so silly nowadays, right? You think about that.
Yeah. He went drumming with Benny Goodman and Tommy Dorsey before forming his own band. There's a fantastic video of him doing a song called "Sing Sing Sing" on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1960. Definitely worth a look. If you're not into drumming, but just watching how he interacts with his other 3 members of his band. It's his band that are playing. There's a piano player, a wind player, and and a bass player, and they're all clearly improvising part of it, as jazz players do. But it's absolutely brilliant, and the drumming in it is amazing. There we go.
Now back to T. Cooper's syncopated style.
You guys can wait.
You know,
for
it's
that
funny.
one.
That exact
Go.
drum riff was used by the suite for Ballroom Blitz. That's exactly
It was.
thing they used.
Yeah.
It exactly was. Yeah, that's exactly it. I'd forgotten that. Yeah. Then we jump to 1917. Born today, the American producer and record company executive Jerry Wexler. Now, if you don't know who Jerry Wexler is, he co-owned Atlantic Records and was the vice president of Warner Brothers. And he did coin the term rhythm and blues. But he was integral in signing some quite big artists like Ray Charles, Led Zeppelin, Dusty Springfield, Dire Straits. I didn't know he did Dire Straits. Aretha Franklin, and some bloke called Bob Dylan. No, I'm kidding. Bob Dylan. And yeah, nearly, yeah. So that was slightly political. Apologies for that. And he died age 91 in 2008. So yeah. We then, another drummer born today was in 1924 we had Max Roach, who a lot of people won't know about Max Roach. I didn't know that much about him, but he played with Jazza, played with Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie, but then he went and played on Miles Davis's sessions, which were later collected as the album Birth of the Cool, which is a really, really good album. I've got the album. So definitely worth a listen. 1945, Rod Stewart was born. I have to say, not a fan, but actually listening to Rod Stewart's early stuff when he was with the Faces, and the first couple of solo albums are really good. In fact, I bought one of his early solo albums on vinyl just before Christmas. I think it was Nods As Good As a Wink, something, one of those. Really good songwriter in the early days. Forget the sailing stuff and all that later. Do You Think I'm Sexy bollocks? But the early Rod Stewart stuff is really, really good.
He's definitely an acquired
nothing
taste, but he's talented. Yeah,
he is, but it's certainly the early stuff. I mean, Mandolin Wind is a great song. It's been used on TV shows over here and stuff like that. Nothing to do with music, but today, on this day, radio signals were bounced off the moon for the first time. So that's, and people, I'm sure people have recorded that sort of stuff. Donald Fagen was born today in 1948. And so was Pat Benatar. Now, I really liked Pat Benatar stuff.
Oh, yeah.
In the 90s. Yeah, and late 80s, early 90s. Love Is a Battlefield is a great song. And then
well, that's probably
1956. Yeah, the video's pretty early, isn't it? Sort of a sex worker, yeah. But then we jump to 1956. We have Don Letts, British film director, disc jockey and musician. Now, his stuff is amazing. If you've not seen any of his films, he did a fantastic documentary about The Clash, but actually he was also in Big Audio Dynamite, who were very, very much into sampling bits from TV and movies and stuff like that. And apparently he scored the hit single E = MC squared, which I didn't know that he'd scored it as such, but that's what apparently it says. But check his stuff out. I mean, he did a lot of music videos as well. I mean, he did Psychedelic Furs, back in the sort of 80s and 90s, Pretenders, Elvis Costello, people like that. But yeah, Westway to the World in 2000, the documentary about The Clash is really, really good. I have it on DVD. Now we're up to 1966. Live action TV series Batman premiered on ABC in America, starring Adam West as the Cape Crusader and good old Burt Ward as Robin. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but I grew up watching Batman. I thought he was the best Batman.
Sure.
That's controversial, isn't it?
Well, if you want to hear some funny stories, apparently the set was as wild as you can imagine. They were random bastards.
Really?
Oh,
yeah. I'd forgotten that it was actually live action as well. So,
Yeah, they're great stories that come out of that period.
Yeah. 1968, American singer and songwriter Johnny Cash recorded the album Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison. in front of a live audience of 2,000 inmates at California's Folsom Prison. I now own that album. It wasn't the first Johnny Cash album I bought. When I was growing up, I bought the San Quentin album.
Yeah, my parents had those albums. They're great. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I saw Johnny Cash live. He played. I may have told this story before, and apologies if you've heard it, but he played in Harrogate Conference Centre. And the first half of the show was his band. Without him, his wife came on and did some stuff with his sisters. His son and Roy Orbison's son came on and sang, and it was all pretty poor, really. So we went to a pub across the road with some friends, and we went, "Shall we actually go back?" I said, "Well, we've come to see Johnny. Let's go back." He was amazing, and it's before he did all the American trilogy stuff. So it was his down period, really. I mean, the band looked really tired and bored, but he was really charismatic, and the songs were good, I mean, I'm not really a Johnny Cash fan as such, but it's, but he is that sort of, there's a particular sound to Johnny Cash, isn't there, really? 1970 today, Diana Ross and the Supremes staged their final concert, because Diana Ross was obviously, was she married to Berry Gordy? But anyway, he was embarking on her solo career, Also today, 1982, Ozzy Osbourne, bless him, rest in peace, Ozzy, bit the head off a bat during a concert in Iowa. And apparently it was all a mistake, wasn't it? Because he was off his trolley on a few drugs. So then we've got today, 84, Cyndi Lauper became the first female artist since Bobby Gentry to be nominated for 5 Grammy Awards. So she was Best New Artist, Best Pop Vocal Performance, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and all of that will have been for her first album. Sidebar, nothing to do with music, but Wikipedia was started today. And obviously managed and founded by Jimmy Wales and Larry Sanger.
And if you use it, watch those banners keep coming up. They're losing money, so they eventually go away. So, yeah, I
know, yeah. So give them a few quid because it's worth it, actually. 2003, the Hall of 500 Beatles tapes that were known as the Get Back sessions. We wonder what happened to them. They were stolen in the 1970s. Were found after the UK police cracked a major bootleg operation in London and Amsterdam, and 5 guys were arrested. So I'm sure a lot of that material became what we've already known and seen on Disney, really. 2008, Radiohead topped the US album charts with a physical release of In Rainbow, which had originally sold on the internet for a price chosen by fans. I do remember buying this. I can't remember what I paid for it, but I bought it as a download when it first came out. And when it became a physical CD, the album sold 122,000 copies in its first week of release, which was the second time. Obviously, before that, 2000, it was following 2000's Kid A, which I have to say I think is a better album, but other people's opinions are available. The big thing happened this day. David Bowie died.
Yeah. Okay.
2016. I mean, it's interesting what it says on here. I was probably more moved by David Bowie's death than any other celebrity or every other musician or artist, really. It says here. I don't agree with this. It says he transformed himself from a traditional pop crooner into a trend-setting international superstar. He was certainly an international superstar, and I mean, I've got quite a lot of David Bowie's albums. Didn't like everything. Didn't like Tin Machine. Said that before, but I've said it before on here as well. I think it was his right to do that, and he was always looking to do something new and something different, and that's just genius for me, really. That's what everybody should be doing.
A couple weeks after Black Star came out.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. And I didn't buy Black Star for quite a long time because I couldn't face buying it, because knowing it was his last album. I bought some of the other albums that I didn't own on CD at the time of his passing. But what a great... I mean, he had his problems. I mean, I didn't... You know, he went through all the drug thing. I never really liked the Young Americans era, the white soul thing, which I thought I think did somebody call it plastic soul? Never really liked that, but liked the early stuff and liked a lot of the later stuff. The stuff that actually didn't.
I loved Ashes to Ashes. And
Ashes to Ashes was great. Yeah,
I love that. That to me is like, you know, that showed he sort of, you know, grew up a bit with his music. That did, you know, obviously the early stuff was kind of, you know, drug
of its time,
crazy, you know, stuff. But yeah.
But the Berlin trilogy albums, I mean, one side of, I can't remember which one it is now. It's really experimental. I mean, those 3 albums are really, really good. You know, when he's living in Berlin.
Pulled the Stylophone out? Was that the Berlin?
No, I think the Stylophone thing was earlier, because that was on
earlier.
Yeah, much earlier. So the first album I bought, but was growing up, I bought Pin-Ups. And David Bowie was responsible for me going back and listening to a lot of the artists on, because it was all covers, but a lot of the 60s stuff that I hadn't listened to, you know. You know, there's a really early Pink Floyd cover on there, and you know, some of these bands that I'd not really heard of or knew, and I went back and listened to them. I thought, well, if David Bowie thinks these guys are cool, I'll go and listen to them, you know. So that was, growing up, that was quite an inspiration. I then started to buy other things like, you know, Ziggy Stardust, and I never owned Aladdin Sane, but I had a mate who had it. He taped it for me, so I had a bootleg version of that. So what else have we got? So we're up to 2021. American record producer Phil Spector died. So I mean, I know he was convicted of second-degree murder, but sorry. Yes, he died. Yeah, he died. He was aged 80. The other person that also passed away on this day in 2023 was the English guitarist Jeff Beck. And now he died from something called bacterial meningitis infection. Now, I know he's a guitarist. He's a rock guitarist and blues and all that. You should have a listen to some of his albums, because some of the later stuff he always used really, really good, fairly young musicians of both sexes. The albums that are particularly good, check out Loud Hailer from 2016, and the sort of more experimental Emotion and Commotion album from 2010. I mean, some of it's quite ambient, some of it's, you know, it covers a whole gamut of musical genres. He's definitely worth a listen, even if you just listen to him for instrumental melodies, because he had a real craft of being able to do that sort of stuff. Another person that died today, 2025, we're nearly there, Sam Moore. Now, if you don't know who Sam Moore is, he's the guy who is Sam of Sam and Dave. So recorded primarily for Stax Records in Memphis, Tennessee, but things like Soul Man, Hold On, I'm Coming, and songs like that, all those great sort of proper soul records, really, we'll call them. Yes, so he died today. And just because it's 2026, in the charts today, we have the UK #1 album is Olivia Dean, The Art of Loving. The #1 single is something called DJO, By the End of Beginning. I have to say, I haven't listened to this, so I have no idea who DJO are, but I think I should need to go and have a listen to at least what the #1 is. In America, it's completely dominated by Taylor Swift, obviously. Life of a Showgirl and Fate of Ophelia is #1 single. And in Australia, it's dominated by Olivia Dean with The Art of Loving and the single Man I Need. And that concludes this day.
Interesting. Yeah. Yay.
Thank you. I think we need to keep the charts in as well, because we need to know what's going on in a world that we don't normally. I don't listen to the charts at all, but I do need to go listen to what the #1 single is. Have anybody heard of DJO?
I do remember that. It's kind of a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's now. The End of Beginning, DJO is the #1 single here in the UK.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
My pop culture references are so out of it.
You're not thinking of Dio, are you?
No.
Sorry, Andy.
No, yeah. I like how I'm kind of comfy today. It's like leaning back in the chair. Well, we got through the main segments.
Oh, okay. DJO, thanks Steve Elbows, is Joe Keeney from Stranger Things. Oh, that's why then.
Ah, right.
Right. Can I just say something about Stranger Things? I struggled through.
I haven't seen the
no
last.
spoilers.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen the end of it either. I struggled through it, and I gave up on episode 7.
Okay.
6 or 7. I mean, it was
It's
anyway.
supposed to be a big letdown.
Is it really? I mean, I
finished
James
it because I wanted to
I'm
finish
not
it,
a Stranger
but
Things fan.
it's been slipping for
I loved
seasons.
the
Mm.
I mean, I just thought it was too overblown, and the story was getting more and more ridiculous. I liked the characters. I just thought you could have done. Where's the story gone? But anyway, but no spoilers because I haven't seen the end of it. I gave up. So
Yeah.
Well, were they not supposed to actually be going that many seasons anyway? And this is what
They
happened?
weren't.
no,
they didn't.
it was supposed to be finished.
Yeah.
It was supposed to finish on season 4, apparently.
They didn't expect it to go as long as it did,
Yeah.
and someone from Netflix high up said, "You keep doing that. You keep doing it.
Yeah.
We're getting subscriptions."
You knew it was going to last when they changed the whole Netflix intro thing to be Stranger Things. That's a lot of money.
Oh
so.
yeah,
Yeah. But the PR, the merch and that side of it has gone nuts.
sure.
There's a pajama shop here in Australia called Peter Alexander, and they've got Stranger Thing pajamas now. So you can go and get your PJs and get lost.
But
in
it's
some
not really a
upside-down
kids
world.
thing, is it? I mean,
You get mind pajamas. That's it.
Yeah, your Mind Flayer jammers.
yeah. I mean, if I had a small kid, if I had a 7, 8-year-old, I wouldn't be letting them watch that because some of it's not.
Nah,
It's definitely not appropriate from
my
a,
youngest
from a,
won't. I won't let him watch it. He'll
No,
friggin' come.
Did it
running.
start off that way,
nightmares.
though?
He'll run into our.
Like
bin
my
and
parents
open
took me to see The Shining when I was a kid, so all bets are off. So.
wow.
up. The
Wow.
Shining.
So I love horror so much. So.
Fair enough. I've got a problem with Zoom. So if there's one person waiting in Zoom, I can't seem to get it to. I can get it loaded up, and they're probably seeing us and everything through Zoom, but I can't get it. For some reason, I can't get it on the show. But it might not be me. It might not be my end. It might just be the Da Vinci Girl's the one that's in there at the moment. It might be your end.
Right.
I'm not sure. But I can't see you on the platform. I've done everything I can. I've been playing while Ian was chatting. I was trying everything I can to get you in, and there's no audio for some reason. So I do apologise for that. But next week, give it another try next week because it might be just I need to restart the computer. It could be I need to go into Zoom settings, and I just haven't got time to do it right now. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we are going to do Saturday Sonority, and that's what we're going to do.
Okay.
And we're going to do the third synth clue. We're going to talk about future synths. Fantastic, and that was a very short Saturday Sonority intro. Future synths is the topic of Saturday Sonority this week. Future synths. Let's do the synth clue first. We'll get that out of the way, and then we can finish up with the rest of the show. So it's the last synth clue. The last synth clue this week is One Shot. There you go. That probably gives you a bit of an idea of what type of machine this is, what type of synth this is. It might. So chuck your synth quiz guesses in, please, into the chat. And I reckon most people who guess it have cheated. It was a little test.
Really?
Actually, there you put a good clue in there, so that I'm hopeful this time. Maybe we'll see.
All right, whack it in. Go, Andy.
I'm not going to say until Andy's gone. I'm going to let Andy go first, and then I'll.
All right. Well, while they're doing that, let's launch the topic this week. The topic is future synths, and where do you think synthesizers are going in the future? You guys are running this topic. I'm just a facilitator of the show. So yeah. Oh, okay. Andy's going with that. Okay.
It's one of those. Yeah, I know which one it is.
Right. Yeah, so I mean future synths. Okay, so I mean we don't know what they're going to do in the future. But we kind of have an idea of where things are headed. Do you know what I mean? Like if you look at the history of synths, we got clues all along. Sometimes we got clues and they slapped us in the face and we're like, oh, was that a clue? Was it? Oh, okay. And sometimes we got massive clues and we're like, ha, I can see that digital is taking over and blah, 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 that sort of stuff, right? So right now, I think the big clues are that we are into very glitchy, very sort of noisy based synthesis where you can you have like mastery controls over literally any type of synthesis at your fingertips, you know, whether it be FM, analog, granular, wavetable, sample based, VA, even some additive, you know, phase distortion. So I think synths that have got sort of everything at your fingertips that give you the ability to bring them in, and then you can then merge those technologies with other technologies, sort of like a little artist palette.
Like that pigments, sense. Things like that.
Yeah, like that, but also probably more like a hybrid where you've got, I feel like my chair's shrinking here. You've got like, I'm going to be down. What's going on? Hybrid sort of stuff where you've got marriages of analogs technology, digital technology, you know, emulated technology is also good. You know, Roland were big on the emulating their own technology. So, you know, with the ACB. So these are all the hints that we've had, you know, for literally 30, 40 years. We've had all these hints. I kind of feel like they're now sort of coming to a point where they're merging, and not merging in the sense where we're just going to get a complete, you know, it's just going to be white noise if they all merged. I mean, technically that's what will happen.
Yeah.
But if you merge the technologies together into palette, and I kind of feel like one of the biggest things that really showed me that in a really well done way was the TR-1000, where you had a drum machine that was a nod to the old technology, but a merging of that old technology with the new, and in a good way and a very clever way. So that's an example of what I'm talking about. Some of the newer synths like Hydra synth are good in that sense. No analog in there, but you know, Novation Peak. I always say Novation Peak was ahead of its day because Chris was just an insanely talented synth designer. You know, probably one of my favorites. And then you've got some, you know, things like the Waldorf Quantum. I felt like that was probably ahead of its day. And these synths have been around for a while, some of these things, right? So technology for 2026, where do you guys think it's headed? What do you think that's out already now that is basically bending the envelope and changing the way we make music? What do you guys think? Over to you.
Complicated. I think they're going to start banging the AI on synths, even though it might not have anything to do with AI, just as a word on the synth. I think that'll be getting banged on a lot of synths, whether it's got it or not.
It's banged on everything, isn't it? Anyway, whether it's yeah,
and I think that'll just ramp up this year.
I think I'd like to see. This is what I'd like to see. And I think I probably said the same last year, actually. But when we are starting to see it, but where synthesizers, where they're more, I mean, I'm thinking of Korg with where you can, you know, add your own oscillators to a synth, that type of thing, where you can actually have a real community where you can change the synth that you bought by adding bits to it, in the sense of, you know, programming, that type of thing. I mean, I originally bought the organelle because I thought I'd be able to program it in Max MSP. Now that never ever happened, but that type of thing, you know, I think the long term, and that's probably long term, but we are already starting to see bits of that happening anyway with some synthesizers. I think that's, you know,
yeah. What when we just ponder that idea, let's just release the synth quiz out of our hands because people have put their guesses in. Andy said the DSI Tetra.
Yeah, I was so far off. When I saw Steve's, I went, yeah, he's got it. This is.
Yeah. So Steve's got it. The answer to the synth quiz is the Akai S612. And if you guys don't know what an Akai S612 is, that's it there. Compliments of the photo. I just put that on there so you guys know where I got the photo from. So it's always good to give people a rap. Sequencer.de. Great website. If you guys want to ever find stuff out, literally when it's cutting edge, you can usually find it on that website. That's for sure. These things were kind of they were a sampler, and they were interesting. So yeah, obviously that clue with the MD280 is it's like a disk drive thing, right?
It's a little cabinet where you put a bunch of little slots with in it.
Yeah, so that was probably the dead giveaway clue. So there you go. Interesting one there. Now a lot of people probably haven't heard of that, so go check it out. The Akai S612
was cool because it had that little manual sliding function to real-time tweak the samples in a clever way. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure we've shown it on Price Watch, and we had a big long discussion about it when it was shown on Price Watch. So, but Daren, that day when the Akai were bringing out all that stuff is probably around the sort of vintage of some of the gear that I don't know if you've still got your 19-inch rack mount Akai gear under your desk there, but
I've got three. I've got Akai 3000 XL, Akai was it 01S, and the Akai S900.
Yeah, well the S900 is quite old, isn't it? So
yeah.
What year? Let's see if we can work out a year. So the Akai
was it 950 the sweet spot because it had the analog filters in it, and
yeah, it was slightly better.
Yeah,
I think they picked the 900 up for about 50 quid actually.
Wow, that's cheap.
Oh, I actually didn't know that.
5,000.
1985 is when this 612 came out, and I didn't know that Dave Cockrell was the guy that designed it. I actually didn't know that. Interesting.
Oh, it's amazing. He did so much good stuff.
Yeah, there you go. S900, did you say, Daren?
Yes, yeah.
So 1985 for the S612, and the S900 is. I like the S900. It reminds me of Pop Will Eat Itself because they used it. 1986, a year later. There you go.
I used to love Pop Will Eat himself. Pop will eat himself.
Definitely liked that when they had Clint Mansell.
Clint, yeah.
When they had him, but obviously when he was the musician, right? He was. I mean, I'm not saying Andy Crabb and all those aren't, but I'm just saying he was truly a very talented musician.
I've got
the soundtracks are great.
A couple of the early albums on.
Yeah, but yeah, all that stuff that Daren's got below him, that would have been all sort of painstakingly data entering your samples.
Yeah.
And they sampled all sorts of stuff. They sampled old movies from the 60s, and they just sampled. That's what they did. Kept themselves busy. Now I think Chris has just rocked up, so we can probably go to.
I think I've still got some floppies with some old stuff on it, which I've not listened to for years.
Hey, Happy New Year, Chris.
Hey, Chris. Happy New Year.
Chris. Same to you, Ian. Hey, Rance. Happy New Year.
How are you, buddy?
Hello, everyone. We're back here again. I'm not bad. Just come back from my sister's birthday party, full of high-class cuisine, pizza and tiramisu.
I think you've got a slight audio delay on your video.
Oh dear. Okay, that's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's just not quite back with us.
Yeah,
pretending in a Hong Kong movie. It's fine.
Yeah. Just think you're Bruce Lee right now, and you've
hello.
Just,
What are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the topic is we're talking about is synthesizers, the future of them, 2026. Where are we headed? What do you think is groundbreaking? What do you think is new? What do you think the future is? That sort of stuff. So now, someone keep an eye on chat for me, please, when we do talk about that, because people in chat, guys, if you want me to bring your comment up, just mention my name in chat, and then it just helps me sort of highlight it in, with the walls of text chat coming through. Or you can do one of these things, the TTSs. Where are they? Hey guys, a lot of people ask me, how can you support the show? Not that. Where's the TTS gone? Not that. That one. So you can do a TTS.
Hey.
You can do a TTS, or you can do a super chat. That's always a good way to help the show.
You should make your TTS have the Australian accent. Do you have that on that one?
I could. I've got Brian on there at the moment. Brian's he's the guy that I use on a lot of my AI sample stuff in my recordings, actually. So yeah. I don't know if I can be bothered changing it, Andy.
That's just a thought.
Yeah, probably going to have to go through and
Is it that regional feeling?
Yeah. Probably going to have to. Yeah, I'm not going to do it now. It probably won't work because I'm streaming at the moment. The software's streaming. Yeah. They reckon they added a feature in here where if Streamlabs shits itself like it did once, and I had to splice off a second stream, they reckon that you can actually recover the stream and keep it going. Because if because I use two computers to stream. Yeah. So I use this PC here, which is Windows. It's a Windows PC, and it uses vMix, and vMix is my video switcher and does all the macros, everything that makes the show what it is. Otherwise, I would be I wouldn't be doing it. Trust me, without vMix, just makes my life easier. You can ask Ian. I put the Price Watch segment together in about 10 minutes today.
You did.
So just knowing
do
I've set up the macros to pick images up and put them in the right spot and all that sort of stuff, so I don't have to do any pre-planning. And then I use Streamlabs, so it streams it to the multi-platform. So we're streaming on Twitch, obviously YouTube, Facebook, Trovo, and there might be another one, I can't remember if it's Kick or something like that. So we're streaming on a whole bunch of different platforms right now. Now those other platforms, they're just there for people that if you watch it on Twitch, some people hate YouTube. They're like anti-Google. But Twitch is owned by Amazon, so I don't know how people can get high and mighty about this stuff. To be honest, really, at the end of the day, it's a platform, right?
They all have problems. Yeah,
I know. But yeah. So yeah, that topic is about future synths and what technology in synths do you think is taking us in a new direction, or what type of synthesis is taking us in a new direction. I've mentioned a few before, Chris. I mentioned the Hydrosynth. I mentioned the Waldorf Quantum. We talked about hybrid type synths where they merge different types of synthesis together: FM, analog, subtractive, VAs, phase distortion, granular, wavetable, all that sort of stuff in it. Puts it in a way that you can access it, and then sound design and merging those analog filters and things like that together. I used the Novation Peak as a pretty old synth that's been around, but probably well ahead of its time when it first came out, I felt. It was early days of FPGA based synthesis too, so yeah. Yes. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about it. You guys are going to talk about it.
I might try to disconnect and reconnect, see if I can get rid of this delay. Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah. There we go. Here we go. Steve Smith has got an idea. Let's get the idea up, Mr. Smithy. Now Press this button here. There we go. Future synth idea. A bunch of thimble-shaped servo knob twisters to tweak knobs according to memories. Then he goes on to say, for synths that don't have memories. There you go. Pretty good idea. Do you understand what he means? I do. I understand what he means. So some sort of system which gets you remembering what you've twisted a knob. Like, say for example, you've got a memory mode.
Melbourne Instruments, and the new servos, because I think the servos might come down in price and start whacking them in synths to do that sort of thing, because they've got
It's like the Nina. They have the memories.
Yeah, that's the one. I think more synths and stuff, and sliders as well. So the same on that. So you switch a preset everything into.
Yes, we've kind of been sort of in the realm of LED indication to provide that kind of instant feedback, because physically
Slim Fatty.
too expensive. But Daren could be right. That kind of mechanical stuff could start to come down in price again if there's more demand for those kind of components.
Yeah.
I know that a certain country is very good at meeting demands in emerging technologies and communities.
And there seems to be a lot of drones about, which they're sort of starting to use all servos for. So,
well, that's what they use for those knobs. They use the drone grade motors and stuff on those.
I don't really know much about the Melbourne synth guys, by the way, even though they're Australian. They have never reached out to me. I've never reached out to them. I don't really have the money to pay for something that they sell, because I think it's quite an expensive caper to get into.
Quite a premium, isn't it? Yeah,
into their gear. Not saying it's bad or anything.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe this cost is going to come down in that, and you'll see it more in, not the whole synth maybe to start with, but certain things starting to add that servo style or instant recall on all your faders, knobs and things.
Yeah.
I think more of that will become.
I agree with Steve in chat. Steve Elbow says roto control isn't too expensive. I agree with him. I don't really want to get into a war with Melbourne synths, but I don't really see why they cost what they cost. I guess that they've got a small boutique company and they want to try and be profitable, I guess, is probably where it's at. But I don't really see where they're getting the price tags from, personally. That's just my own personal opinion. But then again, I always got taught this by, years ago when I worked in a hi-fi store, I got taught this by an Austrian guy who used to own it. He said to me, people will only value what they like. If they don't like something, they're not going to value it. So
plus they have a unique offering, so you can kind of charge what you want, right?
Yeah. But if you don't like something, you're not going to value it, are you? You're not going to see the value in something if you don't like it.
Yeah.
No. If it's not something you really want. Yeah.
I just wish they would have more physical modeling stuff coming out. With all the horsepower now and putting AI in synths and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
There's really no excuse not to do more physical modeling now, which is so great. So, or hybrid, more hybrid physical modeling with wavetable or whatever.
Automation, just before you go into that, Andy, because I kind of feel we need to. But automation of those knobs is not a new technology. It's been around for a long time. Yeah. Been around since probably the 70s or 80s, if I remember.
Even before that, SSL.
No, but motorized faders go bad. I had a Yamaha mixer I had to return because the motorized faders are all jacked up. They just have a lifespan.
Oh yeah, I've got a Yamaha 01V with motorized faders, still working great. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not in here because it's too big, but that was great for recall.
Mm. Yeah, I've
got a Behringer X Touch down here. So good, but luckily the motorized faders still work.
Roland, I had a Roland MC. I can't remember if it was the 909 or the 808. One of those two had the motorized faders on that as well. So you'd recall a patch. It was Groovebox, and it had motorized faders on it. It was awesome.
Yeah, I've never had the
I
pleasure.
have the MC808 that has that on it. They're also
Yeah, I
gonna
said
wear out
MC08,
eventually,
didn't I?
so. Did you? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah. All right, back to synths. So what were you saying, Andy? You were saying,
Oh, just because with things like the VP1, VL1 is cool, but VP1 is one of those rare birds that they had on Pro Synth Network, and one of the guys who owns it, demoed it with Manny, and it was just a really cool, convoluted, deep, crazy synth. But the stuff coming out of that thing was just wicked, right? And that's like 90s technology. So late 90s, I guess it is. But it's just kind of like we have the horsepower now. We have so many ways to do things. It seems like they should attack that more to get more different timbres, because wavetables everywhere and VAs everywhere and FM is all over the place, and there hasn't been anything kind of really new in a while. And although that's not new, it's new to a lot of people who haven't had a chance to experience it because there are limited number of physical modeling synths that are around. So
part of the problem with physical modeling synths is not the actual generation of the sound. I feel like the technology is actually probably already there to do that well enough, because you've got you got to understand how to make a physical modeling sound. You've got attack timbres, you've got tail timbres, all sorts of different types of samples that you can use, and you merge them together, and you've got envelopes and all this sort of stuff that manipulate it. And that technology's been in there quite strong for years. I feel the issue is the expressivity side of it is probably where you've got to make a good decision about, if you're going to make a synth that's got physical modeling, how are you going to actually perform on it from an expressive side is really fundamental.
Well, that's the thing. You've got Hydrosynth, you got Rolly, you got Osmos, you have all the expression you want now. So now the excuse is really, do they want to do it? They can't say they don't have the horsepower, they don't have the means to do it. You can do it from a wind controller, you can do it from anything, really. There's so much expression option out there. It's do they think it's marketable? Do they want to put the money into it?
I mean, put yourself in this example. So have you ever tried to play, let's say, a guitar sound on a synthesizer with a keyboard? Right, this is just real basic level stuff.
For sure,
it's very difficult to get it to sound like a guitar. It sounds like...
Well, the voicings are the hard part. There are guys who can do it, like Jordan Rudess and stuff like that. But...
Yeah, I mean, it's fine if you're trying to do a melody, but trying to do chords and things like that don't really work.
Yeah, it's quite difficult.
You can articulate it. I've seen guys do it. It sounds pretty wicked, but it also has to be very good samples done a certain way with layering and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not even talking about guitar. I'm talking about like wind and plucking.
Yeah.
And
all the other physical
all that
stuff.
cool stuff, and going beyond all that, doing weird stuff that's just hasn't been attacked very well yet.
I think, like I said, I think they won't have trouble getting you to actually generate the sounds, Andy. I think the actual way you play it is kind of the trick part here. And I know you've got Osmos, you've got Rolly, you've got, even with the new Akai MPC Live, you've got nice
instrument.
Stuff like the Arturia, Hydrosynth. There's so many ways to do MPE stuff now. So
the thing might be just that we just haven't really learnt it properly yet. I'm not sure. Like, it was a bit, I don't know. There's people that just are against the whole Rolly seabed type thing. They think, I mean, I personally don't like it because it feels like playing a wetsuit. But
I don't. It's not like the Rolly touch.
I love it because it's a giant XY pad, so you can just squish all over it,
but
and you still have your landmarks.
Oh yeah. Well, the instrument is, for me, is a lot better. Although, having said that, I played
it like a guitar fretboard, though. That's the problem. The instrument is not a keyboard.
Well, it can be scaled however you want. I mean, I've tended to leave it as but you can. I mean, I have tried it scaling it exactly.
Like a Kai Force, I can do fake black and white keys if I want to.
Oh yeah.
But
there is a new version of a new membrane for the instrument, which is not made by Roger Lynn. It's made by another company. I played it at Brastronica. I just didn't like it. I think it's part of it is being designed for people that are maybe visually impaired, because you could feel it had a sort of more bumpy surface, but it just didn't work for me, you know.
It's like Oscar had just said. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Not doing just guitar, not doing just flute, go off the rails and go crazy with it. That's the whole point of physical modeling is you've got the instruments modeled, and if you want to do flutey stuff, whatever, it's going to the next level, going crazy. I mean, it's a synthesizer.
So
go crazy. Don't just imitate stuff that's already out there.
So on that sort of slant, is the problem finding a way of making it accessible? So, for example, people want to use their imagination to create sounds that are not conventional. We need an instrument that's designed to actually promote that. So is the next leap before we go to some really cool physical modeling synths going to be finding a good way of interfacing it to people in a way, you know, is finding a way of communicating that. Because
it's like the Hartman neuron, right? It was a different paradigm. People didn't know how to use it. It didn't take off. It was very expensive. But man, if you put some time into the Hartman neuron, it does wicked, crazy, fun stuff that other synths can't do. So that kind of, you know, think outside the box and go crazy as a, you know.
I'm just hearing some definite opinions about, you know, different forms of interface, but suiting some people and suiting other people not so much. So, I mean, when you think about it, it's incredible that we've all kind of agreed a baseline of working with a keyboard as being a way into synths, and we've all that's kind of a baseline that we've all seemed to have accepted, with perhaps the exception of a lot of modular people who cannot stand keyboards. Their interface to their modular is completely through touch strips and knobs and patching. So they don't even don't even
modular is one of those
work with it. So
frontiers.
So we kind of have at the moment we have keyboard based being the most popular sort of synth interface, and modular being the second most popular, you know, synth interface in this century. What's the next one going to be? I guess that's the question. So is it finding the next?
Because like Rich Hilton said many times on Sonic Talk, the closer you get to manipulating the actual tone element, whether it's through a key wiggle or aftertouch, whatever, the closer you get to expressing what's in your head or trying to get what's in your head out, whether it's a guitar or a flute or whatever. And then these new controllers that let you do some of that stuff to add human element to it instead of just some kind of LFO or some kind of, you know, wizard or whatever. It's doing something for you.
I remember
if I use my touche, which is very, very, it takes you off that keyboardy feeling of just hitting the note. You like you said, you're having that more fluidity,
nuances. You got all the nuances in there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just with a simple touche. If they can, you know, as it expands, like Ian's got
cool.
more MP, it just brings out that more, I don't know, that more nuances, like he says, of different tools that you can use.
Well, I think we could tap into the gaming world. I mean, I'm not a gaming person, by the way, but I'm quite aware of the technology that's been thrown around in different gaming things. And, you know, you just look at the kids that with the Wii controllers and playing tennis and, you know, Street Fighter and all that sort of stuff, what they do, the gaming technology. But there's so many human interface devices that are out there that we have already got them developed as a technology, but it's not for the music platform. It's for gaming, or it might be for doing surgery in the medical field or whatever it is, right? But I feel like Andy, you're on. I reckon you're on the money with physical modeling, but I feel the way you interface with it has to be flexible. It can't be rigid. It has to be flexible. It has to be able to give you.
It's going to take a while to learn. You can't just dive in and do it.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I've spent 5 years on the instrument, learning it.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And like I said, that VP1 software he demoed on that show, it's so complicated. I mean, it's wicked. Some of that stuff, there's so many parameters and the drop-down menus and stuff that it could be overwhelming for people that don't want to even ever touch that. Just use presets.
Well, there's technology now that you can stand in an array of cameras that will be pointing at you, right? You can stand in the, and it will know exactly what you're doing with every body movement and everything, even eyebrows going up and down like this, and smiles and winks with your eyes. So you could MIDI map, to use a better term, that stuff.
Yeah. Didn't we look at this before, like as VR? Because it's starting to. Well, we thought that might be a thing, but it seems to still not be there yet. Using VR as your actual door and sense and stuff.
I'm just
2 or 3 years
Chris,
ago,
every time I wink, it does this.
Yeah. Do you remember Korg came out with a virtual environment about must be about 3 or 4 years ago now, and it was a synth studio, and that died a death, didn't it?
Yeah, and because you know what they did? They just modelled the physical real world.
Yeah, I know.
Inside 3D world. Wow,
I know, that
groundbreaking, guys.
Yeah, I know.
Well, they had the one for the DeepMind 12 also.
units.
Remember the DeepMind 12 editor that was VR?
Oh no, I don't remember that.
That's kind of wacky.
Yeah, it was kind of wacky, but I don't think I ever got a chance to play with it. I saw a video on it, and that was about it. Did they ever do anything with that, or is it just all
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
Somebody
too
else
weird
got
or too
talked about
esoteric. People don't want to do it. You know, that's the thing.
Yeah.
MIDI 2.0.
Well, I mean, MIDI 2.0.
Definitely more of that.
To be honest with you guys, MIDI 2.0, I was right across that from early days. So I kind of got involved in it, and at the end of the day, really what it was to solve the problem where when you buy something and you want to control it with something else, it solves the problem of the device being able to communicate with the other device. So the MIDI controller communicating with the synth module or whatever it is, that we're talking about, and that it does it through the 4 Ps. It does it through understanding those different areas. And so technically, when you bring, I don't know, say you plug in your Roland System 8 into your computer, and then you've got your KeyStep 37, you don't need to to map it or anything. You don't need to reprogram MIDI CCs and things like that. It's not sort of all what's the word? It's not raw, and and this to me is kind of the same thing where if you think about FM synthesis and some of the other types of synthesis became so programmatic to people that people loved the sound of it, but they just didn't want to have to go through the pain of designing sounds. So that's what I was saying to you before about physical modeling. I feel that you've got to make it so that it is so highly accessible and easy for someone to go, cool, I want to do some sort of percussion sounds, Andy. I love this, weird, someone going around tapping on a stalactite in a cave. I want to make that sound. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold a stick in my hand, and there's a camera looking at me on my computer, and it can see me going like that. And all of a sudden now it knows the velocity of my hand. It's going, yep, that point there is where he hits it, and it can work all that stuff out. So technology's already there. Like I said, gaming technology's already got stuff like this now, where you can stand in a room with an Xbox and punch someone, and on the other end of the world, they recoil.
Haptics,
yeah.
Haptics.
Well, this is what things like ATV A-frame was a game changer, even though it's really hard to get these days, because it's completely tactile. It's as sensitive as you want to get, and it has these crazy timbres because of the DSP, complex DSPs on board and effects, and the way they've mapped pressure and velocity and stuff to these sensors, and so you really have a full experience. That's why Indian players gravitated toward it. They love it because Indian tabla players and stuff, they take forever to learn all those little techniques, really subtle stuff. So you still have to learn some techniques if you want to play certain styles. That's just the way instruments are, sadly. But
Yeah.
but the good thing about the physical modeling and other things that may come along, people always bitch about like, oh, I want something new. I'm tired of wave folding. I'm tired of VA. I'm tired of all this other kinds of stuff. Can we have some new stuff? And then you give new stuff. They go, oh, it's too complicated. I don't want to use that. I'm like, well, what do you want? You know, there's going to be growing pains. You know,
Everyone wants their cake.
But you see, the way they get around that, Andy, the way they get around that, Andy, is they'll just say they'll have your keyboard with a microphone, which will be connected to AI, and you'll just tell them what you want. And
well, that's the thing. People want instant gratification, no work.
It's not so hard now. Yeah, it's not so hard now. I can have a stalactite banged in some cave in the outer, outer beyond.
And then you get
voila,
and then
done
you get
for
someone
me.
Get someone on the spectrum who doesn't communicate the same way as us, and it doesn't work for them.
Totally. Yeah. But like, listen, like when Ken Spong talks about the C-board, right? It took him a long time to get the fingering right without getting the weird drifting notes and stuff, because you have to really control your adductor muscles in your hands, because those movements actually get all weird. But once you learn to control that and reel it in, you have complete control over timbres without ever leaving the keys, you know? And he practiced in the dark to get the landmarks down, so you didn't have the distraction of can I see the keys or not. You know, things take time. You have to learn the instrument.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like the world of IT. You know, the world of IT. There's users.
Yeah, but that's the problem.
There's
TikTok
people,
world at the moment.
There's people that develop and there's people that manufacture, right? And in synths, like you could always. So you're going to have someone who will go, oh, I don't like FM because it's really hard to program. It's very difficult to understand. Cool. Then why complain? You're going to be a user of FM. You're going to be someone who either buys or uses patches that are already available, and that's you. And that you learned how to play those patches. That's you. If you're going to be someone who criticizes the technology, you've got to be that person to say, well, I've got skin in the game. I understand how these work. I understand maths, I understand engineering, whatever it is, right? You got background. I can criticize this technology because it hasn't been implemented well for these reasons, and it's constructive what they're saying. Don't just criticize something because you don't understand it. Because you don't understand it is actually, in a way, it's embarrassing to say that. To criticize something purely because you don't understand it, that's an embarrassing thing to do, because you're actually saying,
that's stupid.
Yeah, you need a bit of humility.
Yeah.
There's one big problem there, though. That's not the world we live in.
Correct, Dan.
So they're not going to make these. They're not going to make these things because people don't want to spend time trying to get things to work, do things. They want instant now
and
as cheap as possible. So
yeah.
And they're quite happy to spend inordinate amounts of time telling you that. That's what they like to spend their time on.
Yeah.
So
at least Korg is like doing the electromechanical thing. They're doing out of the box stuff, right? They're working on some side projects. I wish more companies would do that now, because you look at companies like Alesis
leading the world,
and other companies in the late '80s and early '90s. They made all these weird experimental stuff, like the little dome synth, where you have it's like a D-beam, but it's also a synth. Nobody made shit like that. They were thinking outside the box, and it was fun. It didn't have legs, but for those of us that like it, it's still useful, you know.
Certainly, the Korg Op6 opened up FM for me. You know, prior to that, I'd done three DX7s and could never program them. It was only just using presets. Once I got an Op6, then it all became so much easier, and I could program it, and it would load original DX7 patches.
Well, mate, So Ian, we talked about Daren's S900 before, right? That S900 and all of the pain that Akai have gone through for many, many years of iterating through different types of sample products has got to the point where they've made your Akai MPC Live 3. That is literally, evolution, right? That's evolution. Absolutely. Right at your fingertips.
Yeah.
You would not, for 5 minutes, want to sit there and work with an S900 compared to.
Sure, I wouldn't. No.
Yeah, because it's like a DX7. It's pretty much like a DX7.
Yeah. I spent so long. I mean, ask me why I bought three of them. I have no idea. But I tried to get my head around FM back in the day.
Yeah.
it just never happened. Just couldn't get my head around it.
I think we all kind of like the idea of a synth being really, really simple to use and get, as a performer, we can perform with them, and that's really cool. But then if we want to sit in our studio and go, hey, you know what, I want to open up the hood. I want to go in there a bit and have a tweak and a fiddle. I feel like they're kind of probably where a lot of us sit. We at times we might delve a little bit too deep and get a little bit above our heads with things. Yeah. And sometimes we get to the bottom of something and go, "Whoa, okay, that wasn't that deep. That was actually pretty easy. I think I've mastered this little device now." And we've probably all have those devices that we can say, "This one's beaten me, and this one I've beaten it." And I reckon you've just got to. It's just what your aptitude is on in certain areas. Depends on
patience. How much patience do you have?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Personality.
Certainly, you do need to have patience with things like, I've got lots of patience with the MPC Live 3, but I am enjoying it because you still have to enjoy it. If you're learning something, and it's just,
if it's a pain,
the poly-in tracker was a chore to me learning that thing,
That's not good.
whereas this is it's not the same device. It's just so much more fun,
It's too bad Inky's not here to do a
seriously,
live
really
MPC Live 3 demo for everybody, right? So
Absolutely, she would.
training videos.
Would have been interesting to see what
Yeah.
the take on it was.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us
as soon as you stop
probably.
enjoying it, then it becomes complicated. No matter how easy people say it is.
Do a lot of you guys have a wish list? Do you ever sit down and think, I actually want to write out a wish list of not products you want to buy, Daren, but of things that you would like?
Oh.
Say you've got a product that you've already got and you would like it to do because it doesn't do it very well, or you've got a product that it actually completely misses a feature and you think it should have that feature. Have you guys ever?
Yeah, me and my brain.
Oh.
Not really. I mean, I've got things I want. I own things that I
Too
want to
active
spend more
mind.
time with, but there's only so many hours in the day.
Well, the easiest way to get around that is to lose some of the gear that you don't use. And I've talked about this before. I have a rule: if it's sat somewhere for more than 12 months, it's gone.
Yeah.
Unless
What is this madness of which you speak?
Unless I'm keeping it for some financial reason.
Andy, man.
I'm with you, Andy.
Yeah. If you haven't
I've
used it
sold-
for more than 12 months, it's gone.
Yeah.
Out of here.
I sold a synth over just before Christmas. He went to France. Because
Look, I already had a
just
clean out.
don't
I had
need
stuff
it.
stolen. That's the clean out I need. I'm not getting any more clean out. So.
Yeah, but you don't want people to steal it. You want to sell it and
know.
get some money for it, man.
Luckily, I still have stuff left, but
Yeah.
Yeah. But, if you're sitting down in front of a piece of gear and you're thinking to yourself, I can't get on with it, I don't understand it, I'm watching people on YouTube and they're doing really, really well with this thing and I'm not, sell it. Be gone.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. Don't don't wish things are going to be different.
You
It's
could
not
look
going
at it that way, or you could look at it. You could look at it the other ways. Well, the way I look at it is, I sit down in front of the gear, and the gear looks at me and goes, "I can't get on with that person there."
Daren speaks for his
That's it.
gear.
Yeah. Please like me. Please like MPC3. Please like me. Like me.
I've yelled at my
just
kid plenty of
like
times. Yeah.
They all have names.
No glitches in the set, please.
There's
no
Nigel,
glitches in the set.
Nigel.
Right, you're on the naughty bit. That's it.
I feel it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've kept stuff that I had a lot of trouble with because eventually, if I have the free time, I will spend the time and learn it because it does have some merits. Even though the interface might suck, there's some cool features in there I've seen on videos. I like the sound of it. Do I have the time to figure it out? Probably not, but it's on a rainy day list,
Yeah.
So
Well, there you go. I mean, I don't think we're really cracking any sort of, it's not our job to come up with the solution of the future of synthesizers, but,
no.
Some of you guys in chat, you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, I wouldn't mind a synth that does, and whatever that comes out, that bit. Let us know what that is. I mean, it's not, no one's going to go, oh, I'm copying you now, I'm going to go and build that synth. I mean, Do you have time to go make a synth and go through the market research and the R&D and development and the, tooling, and ask Chris about it? Yeah, he knows all about that stuff.
Baby steps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Building a synth block by block.
Well, luckily he's able to do stuff that he likes and not worry so much about the audience, right? It's like if you build it, they will come approach, and it's working for you. But big companies have to try and please everybody, and it's really hard to do that.
Yeah.
Just you have whiners, complainers, lazy people, whatever. If you did make a physical modeling thing simpler, now you've dumbed it down where it's not going to be as powerful as everyone wanted it to be. So
It's difficult.
Well, so that's why I like the CS80. If you think about the CS80, it was quite ingenious. It has very good expressivity. It's on its face value, it's very simple to actually dial up a patch and play.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But then you've got these panels that you can open, and then all these little sliders and stuff. I can actually go in and tweak and fiddle, and so it does
save a preset.
Yeah, it does have a bit of that, and that was designed in the 70s. That synth. So you think about it. Yamaha have always been pretty good with that sort of stuff in the history. They've always been fairly ahead of the game. But you guys mentioned
But
it
it's
before.
capable of test. It cries out for effects. It needs effects.
It does need effects
because it's an analog synth. But it has an effect. It has one of the best effects systems ever made, and that's the ring modulator on it. It's absolutely genius ring modulator. But I feel Korg right now. To me, I really think they're kicking massive goals every year. Like you think about last year at NAMM, they kicked so many things out of the park, and there was just so many synths coming out from them. Was it last year or the year before? I'm getting ahead. I think it might have been the year before. It might have been 2024. Probably getting ahead of myself here. I'm not saying that they're going to do it again because I don't know. But they, I like Korg. I'm not a fanboy, but I'm a big believer in what they do, and they're not sort of ignorant as a company. They do actually listen to people. They listen to the community, especially synthesizer community. They've always been a better listener in the synthesizer community. They'll go, all right, you guys want an FM synth that you can actually pretty easily develop your own patches. We'll bring out the OP6. This is it, and
make your own. What's the term? Arrays. You can actually rearrange the operators.
Yeah.
Other things you can't do that.
Algorithms.
Algorithms.
Yeah, algorithm. That's it. Yeah. So that's kind of clever too. They made it fun to use, approachable, but also had and it actually had a proper filter in it too. Like FM stuff doesn't have a filter.
I think they sort of went through from a UK point of view. They went through a bit of a slightly dodgy patch, which I think I'm hoping to see them coming out of. But they've always done wacky things along the way, things you wouldn't expect, like the stuff that they're doing over in Berlin. Now, it's not there yet what they're developing over there, but it will be interesting. It's already interesting, So, there's some good people. People like Luke. Luke's one of the most approachable people in the industry, really. And he's really good at demonstrating his stuff.
I think about the sound is always going to be my primary driver behind anything that I get. The sound, what it's capable of sounding like, or what I can produce with the sound on this thing. And sometimes it's the most bizarre, simple, tiny little cheap ass product that they've produced that kicks ass, some of the little Volcas were so good at producing some wacky sounds. I remember when I got the Volca bass, I thought this thing's trying to be a TB303, but it's not. It's actually something else. What are they trying to do with this thing? And then you got some wacky sounds out of it. And the
Volca keys. The Volca keys was very similar to the 700 when that first came out.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what they said to me. You know, I mean, my only criticism,
and a portable
real
polyphonic
criticism
analog
of this-
synth for that cheap, it's crazy. You know.
Yeah.
It's-
My only real criticism is that some of the workstation-y type stuff like this is very, very menu divey, and they're all slightly different from each other. The Kronos has got the same problem, really. You know, it's very, you forget where things are. I have to then go and look at somebody's video to find out how I did something that I did 6 months ago. You know, but that's a small thing. The sound of the stuff's great. I've always been a fan. You know, so and
Ranzee, you already have the best
many...
synth. You have the Timberwolf. So I mean, that's all you need.
I was going to say,
Well,
how many
sound quality?
Best units.
I must have done about 10 Korg synths, maybe more. No. That's what I've used. I mean, when I went and did my EMUM just before Christmas, what did I use? I used 2 Korg synths. I used a Cross 2 and a PS60. Both doing different things, you know.
Yeah.
So they are my go-to for live work, certainly.
Yeah, I got rid of the Timberwolf Anti, by the way. If you didn't.
Oh, you did?
That.
Oh, I
did
forgot
you?
about that.
Yeah.
Did you get a good price for it?
No.
It was okay.
Did you get a good price for
I
it?
found a sucker.
I got a better price. I got a better
saying.
price than what I paid for it. Put it that way.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Better than
Well done.
you got more for it than scrap metal.
I didn't make $1 million though, if that's what you mean.
Did you get it when it was down to like the equivalent of $200, or did you get it when it was more than that?
200 US? No, less than 200 US.
Less than that, okay.
Yeah.
Because then the guitar sound had them blowing out for a while at $200. It was like, wow, it is cheap enough. I might actually get one.
But it fell under the same principle that I had with gear, and that is that I didn't get along with it. I wasn't using it. It has to go.
Yeah.
And it really is a piece of shit. That synth really is. It really is. Sorry, guys. It really is.
The Rhythm Wolf isn't much better. I'm sorry.
You can mod it. You can mod it. You can do stuff like that. It's still. We're not talking about what it's capable of doing. We're talking about what it does. You know, if you mod it, that's not the original synth. And I really wasn't in the mood to pulling the thing apart and selling. It was in really good condition, so someone deserves to have it and give it some love. The guy that bought it off me, he was in the US, so it went all the way from my city all the way to the US of A, and he was really happy with it. He sent me a message.
Cool.
He was like jumping with joy. He was really happy. So,
and then he switched it on.
and then he
It
realized
looks so cool.
it doesn't have. Yeah.
Of those three things, the Tomcat
Still
was
playing
actually the best unit.
soft
The
synth.
Tomcat had some good sounds on it. So
Yeah. But I mean, there's things that I've bought that I've just gone, wow, this is even better than I thought it was going to be. So, you know, there's the opposites happen. You guys have had that too.
Yeah.
You know, MPC Live was one. When I first got the MPC Live, I thought, this is going to be a tricky thing. And I forget, I went from an MPC 1000 to an MPC Live. So I'd already been there, got the T-shirt, and then I looked at it and I thought, holy crap, this thing is miles different to an MPC 1000. This thing is like, the only thing that's similar is it's got pads.
Which I have.
It's got pads. Okay. At least we've got pads. It's a start. And it was kind of, it was a journey. It was a massive journey. I mean, it still is a journey.
Yeah.
It is still a journey. I've had mine since 2017, Ian. Still a journey, right?
Well, I'm on a long journey with this. I know that.
Yeah.
You know? And actually, it was partly your recommendation in the first place that I bought the damn thing. Although I did have an inkling I was after it. But actually, the other piece of advice that I took from you was the MPC course, which I am working my way through it, or halfway through it now.
Oh, the Bible.
And that's one of the Bible. The guy that's written that really knows his stuff.
He does.
It's really well. It's
He's
really
good.
well. It's well written. you've got the samples there to, and you know the programs that he's created. It's just brilliant, you know. And I've written educational software in the past, not for this stuff, but you know, he's great, really, and it's worth the 40 quid that I paid.
Oh, it's a bargain. It's an absolute bargain.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, sorry, just getting messages on Discord, not Discord, Zoom. I can't get it. I've just explained it to you guys before. I can't get Zoom to work, so I don't know what more I can do. Don't keep trying on your iPad and trying on your phone and trying on your PC. It's not going to work. I can't get it to work.
It ain't happening today, boys and girls.
Definition of insanity. Keep trying. And
give up trying to come in the show with Zoom today. Sorry, it's just not working. And it's not me.
Just today.
Yeah, it's just today. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I kind of feel like, you know, we've got all these different sort of bits of gear in our studio, and we're pulled sometimes. We're pulled this way, we're pulled that way, and sometimes we get distracted. And being creatives, what we all are at the end of the day are creatives. We tend to tends to happen with us. We tend to sort of get distracted. Oh, the bright shiny thing over there. I need to go to that.
Squirrel.
Yeah. So, one of the things that I was kind of cognizant about the whole distraction versus gear versus syndrome of too much gear, not enough time. And you guys have all mentioned it already. So over the years, you have to really battle with yourself with that. You really do. You have to battle with yourself, because there's a thing where you can there's nothing wrong with buying new gear. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't buy new gear, but there's a thing where you're stuck with whatever it is, your creative process, your musical composing, or whatever it is that you're stuck. So what you do is you go, I need some gear. I'll go and buy it. I've always wanted that. Yeah. I'll go buy that. And you think
circuit breakers.
It might inspire you. It definitely might. I'm saying it won't, but sometimes it might distract you as well. So you kind of have to be a little bit more disciplined. It's a bit like music is a discipline. It really is. It's a bit like the old days when you used to do music lessons and you thought to yourself, oh God, this is a pain in the ass, music lessons. I've got to sit there and practice. What am I doing? I hate this. The piano teacher's horrible. Whatever it was, right? Violin teacher, whatever. Trumpet teacher. Yeah. You know, you guys know what I'm talking about.
Scales.
Even when you're doing it for yourself, right? You are going to be doing it in a way where you know your own fallacies, your own failures, your own, distractions and things like that.
Weak points, yeah.
For me, gear is definitely a weak point for me. Absolutely. I'll be the first to admit it. I love gear. If I had unlimited money, I would just buy a massive, huge acreage of land and a massive shed, and I would just keep filling it up with gear, and I'd be happy. And I'd sit in the middle of it and go, woohoo!
I won.
The king of the world.
But nobody cares.
Yeah, but nobody's around me, yeah. Exactly.
But
it's bad when you start losing stuff and can't find certain things. I have a few things I haven't seen for years.
Yeah.
And you buy duplicates of stuff. Like, hey, wait, I already had that. Damn it.
Yep. Like cables.
I do that with records. I do that with CDs.
Yeah.
Buy the same CD twice.
I've lost a whole module.
Yeah.
Really?
I have too.
Yep.
I've
lost a whole module, and it wasn't a small one. I got no idea where it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gonna drive me nuts for the rest.
I told you guys about that one I lost, didn't I? The Typhoon module. Because we were talking about it. We were talking about it on the show. I had the other white one that I got from Cow Synth. These are all like mutable instrument clones. Ranzee. So I had that one, and then someone, I think it was Wags, was like, how's your Typhoon going? And I'm like, where is that little bugger? I haven't seen it for a while. And I pulled this place apart. I pulled it apart. I was going to start scratching down the plaster on the walls. That's how bad I was pulling it apart. I pulled it apart, could not find it
myself.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you can find stuff to one room, that helps. I have stuff in different rooms, and then who knows what the hell.
No, I've got stuff in different rooms. I've got another area where I store stuff. and eventually I found it. And I was really, really disappointed in myself because, you know, when you have those brain farts, those moments where you go, "Oh, put that in there. I'll just put that in there."
Shit. Yeah. All the shit ideas.
I have now forgotten that I've put that in there.
Yes, brain fart.
Yeah.
So my
we all
grandmother
do
used
it,
to,
though.
when I was taking care of my grandmother for a while, she used to just walk around the house and just put things somewhere. I'd call it a granny walk because she would just go and just drop stuff.
Yeah.
And then where'd I put that thing? And it could be anywhere because you did it along some route. And I do, we all do that sometimes. You drop stuff, and where the hell did it go? I don't know.
Well, the
Classic
worst thing
example.
is
I was
trying to looking for this book the other day, which is Paul White's Recording and Production Techniques. It's quite old now, but there's still a lot of relevant information in it. I thought most of my books are in here because they're to do with music tech, you know, or production. No, it was in the lounge, but I couldn't find it. I thought, oh God, don't tell me I'm going to buy a new version of it, you know, buy an updated version of it. God, it was stuck in a corner somewhere with a load of art books. Not even, I've obviously put it there, but yeah, I had one of those brain farts and didn't know where the bloody hell I put it. You know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this year we're going to overcome all of those problems this year, guys. We're better. We're 2.0. We've leveled up. We're going to make albums and
we're going to make music with AI.
We're getting older, so it's virtually impossible to get better. You have to get worse. So that's the way it goes. You forget stuff more.
I kind of want to take the intro track. I was telling Ian about it earlier. I want to take the intro track off the show because, I mean, I did it as a joke because it's AI, and then I fixed a lot of it myself, recorded actual real synths playing over it and stuff.
I quite like it.
I wrote the lyrics. The lyrics were written by me.
Yeah.
The melody was written by me, but the AI was the girl that sings on it is AI, and I just want to get rid of it. So I know it's cool, but it's there's a bit of a taint about it. Do you know what I mean? There's a bit of a taint.
It's so 2025, isn't it?
It's like getting a bit of dog poo on the bottom of your shoe. It's a bit like that.
Questionable.
You just want to shake it.
Well, it smells.
It smells, and you want to shake it off.
Your shoe smells. Yeah.
You want to get rid of get the hose out and just you want to clean it. So I think hopefully by next week maybe I've fixed that. We'll see what can happen. See what I can do in a week. Challenge myself, if the wife lets me. That is, guys. I think we should finish up the show. We've We've done the Synth Quiz. We've done Saturday Sonority.
Good stuff.
Everyone's happy. We can give ourselves a little early mark. How many hours have we been streaming for? 2 hours and a half. There we go.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's good.
Good enough for Australia.
It's good for the UK as well. Oh,
what are you showing, Chris?
What's happened to Chris there?
Sorry, what am I showing?
Yeah. An oscilloscope.
4 channels of modulation is what that is.
Yes. They all seem to be meeting
derivatives of each other.
Yeah, they all seem to be meeting at some point. Yeah,
that's because they are.
Yes, indeed.
But
there you go. Is that? Oh, okay. I know what you're doing now.
That is a sneak preview. I just don't know why the top half is blurred like that. I wonder why.
Yeah.
It's like a make noise
had
video.
A bit of progress.
Yeah. Just don't do a Behringer though, Chris. Don't go. We're going to release the VCS 3 7 years ago, and
No.
Yeah.
No. I'm not sure. I won't go as anything unless it's actually worked.
Cool.
Lots more work to do, but I just
lots of modulation.
There's been progress made, and there will be a new module this year.
Yep.
Ooh, would you say you had a plethora of modulation?
There's 6 channels of modulation here.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But what happened to the Jupiter 8? What happened to it exactly? Ask Roland.
What happened to Jacob
Exactly.
Brochure's Jupiter thing he was making, right?
What happened to the CS80?
Remember that
they were
guy?
making?
CS80, yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't remember that guy, Andy.
Oh, it's cool. This is a high school kid who's making this Jupiter 8.
Wasn't he at NAM one year?
I
Didn't
ran
he-
into him last time I was there, or a year before. I forgot which one it is.
Is that the tire
So he's
grinder
there with
guy?
his mom doing.
Is that the tire grinder guy? Or is that a different guy?
Um,
Because he actually
no, I
made
just
his
remember from the
Jupiter 8.
one project.
He made a Jupiter 8.
Or OBX, sorry, yeah. Wild Goose is OBX. Yeah,
Oh, I
that's
was going
it.
to
Sorry.
say because
I
that's
thought it
why I
was Jupiter.
didn't. That's why I didn't realize what you're talking about.
But anyway, it's still something cool. It's a cool project. But now there's so many Oberheim things coming out. It's like I guess maybe decided it wasn't worth it. I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Well, the future is in your hands, people.
Yeah.
Press record. Go.
Let's not buy anything this year.
No, buy stuff.
Buy
Buy stuff.
Not going to happen, is it? It's
Yeah.
not going to happen.
Definitely go buy stuff.
If I said now that I'm not going to buy any synths this year, are you going to believe me?
You know what? I reckon you could do it. I reckon you could do it because I reckon you've got willpower. But I still think you'll be salty by the end of the year. You'll be very salty.
Yeah, will be. I'm going to try. I'm going to try.
I don't know who you're trying to prove it to though.
No, I'm not really. No.
I'll let
There's
you off,
there's nothing I want.
I'll let you
nothing
off
I
the
want
hook
at the
right
moment.
now, Ian, if you want. I'll just
Yeah.
say to you, mate, you're okay. You can go buy something. You're a good boy.
Well, that's why being broke is
thanks.
kind of helpful. I'm not buying a bunch of crazy synths. I can't afford them. So
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, actually, this is my most expensive purchase for the last 2 or 3 years. So,
Well,
probably
the
since the Lin.
Yeah.
NPC
Yeah,
is
the
a
NPC.
pretty big purchase. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty
So-
big deal. Yeah.
Luckily, I ended up selling 3 synths and some other bits of tech to cover the cost of it. So, and I'd done that in advance, really. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. All right. Well, we are finished. We are done. There's the first show of 2026. Can't believe I've done this for 7 years. What the hell?
pound.
Yeah, 7 year itch. Have I got one? Maybe. TTFN exactly, Keith. TTFN.
Hello, Keith.
Ta-ta for now. Uru, as they say. Uru.
Uru from the Gurus.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
all right, buddy. Good times.